about to get started here. We're going to go tell players that they can begin. Alex, Luke is playing Storm, and Blake is on a classic Murktide. I don't know what kind of Storm we can expect to see here.
Well, speaking of classics, Storm is a classic modern deck.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it in a hot minute, not since probably Modern Horizons 1 and Aria of Flame.
Mm-hmm.
Start things off with a sleight of hand.
Very nice. Good stuff. So is it Storm then? Blue-red Storm?
He says Storm. I saw a red card in his hand. I see sleight of hand on the table.
So
Close as we can get without perfect knowledge.
good stuff. And then Murktide, as I'm sure a lot of people know, also an Izzet deck. So
Yes.
we'll see some similarities in land, but I think that's where the similarities will end.
This is probably a tough matchup for Storm. I have to imagine tempo decks like Murktide are the reason we don't see Storm anymore. It's hard to... Your turn 1 sleight of hand looks very embarrassing against a Ragavan. Thankfully, we didn't have that. And he's got 4 counterspells, the premier counterspell.
Yeah, absolutely. My first deck in Modern played Counterspell. I played Merfolk, which is technically like kind of an aggro deck, but does play.
Merfolk. It's whatever it needs to be.
Yeah, it's great.
Very flexible deck.
I want to go back to it. I want to spread and see some Urza Sagas. I think that'd be real fun.
Do it. It's the beauty of Modern right now. It's very open. You can play what you want, and all decks can lose to Modern Horizons too.
So tell me about the state of Modern right now. I haven't played since March of Machine has come out. Do you know any effect that set has had on the format?
Let's see. Yes. Well, we do know Atraxa was the biggest pickup.
Sure.
But March of the Machine brought us all these battles. We're seeing their impact. Right now, the focus, though, is sort of a holding pattern waiting for Lord of the Rings. Because, build as Modern Horizons 3, even though Wizards assures us it was core set power level. But
it is technically like it's straight to Modern, right? It's not a standard set, so it does
correct.
Assumedly have cards of a Modern power level.
Ooh, a peek has been delivered.
I see. I got a peek at a blue card on top. I don't know. I couldn't quite catch what it was exactly.
I couldn't either. But this Ledger Shredder, if backed with counter magic, is going to be very hard. The card selection with the control deck, you have to imagine. What? Alexander Luke's going to consider. He's going to think it over. Decides to keep the card and put it in his hand.
Maybe he was trying to hit a land drop there?
That's very possible. I know he has at least one Pyretic Ritual in hand. It's hard to tell the other cards.
So Storm, of course, is like a combo deck, right?
That is correct.
What's the end goal? Like a grape shot or something?
The goal is to cast a lot of spells. Cast Past and Flame so you can cast a lot of spells a second time. And hope that you've cast enough spells that, yes, grape shot will be lethal.
All right. We'll see if Alex manages to do that here. Blake on a more standard Magic plan, a creature-based deck with a couple of other utility pieces in it, tempo pieces, counter spells.
Right. He just wants to throw up enough roadblocks that Alex Luke has to take 5, 6, 7 turns and hope that Murktide is just big enough, fast enough.
Right.
Another peek.
Is that a... What card is that?
I'm going to say opt from here. No, that's Make Disappear?
No, I don't think it was Make Disappear.
And that's a poke.
All right, life total's even here. Pretty slow start to a game. I'm much more used to Pioneer, which is a very fast format.
That is true, but Bird Lawyers have to start slow with opening motions. And here we have a Goblin, I want to say Electromancer. It makes things cheaper. So now...
Good enabler for Alex.
Yep. Which turns your Pyretic Rituals into Seething Songs. Banned card in Modern.
Yeah, look at that. Manamorphose down there. Get Alex started here. Storm count is 2.
And that's the first roadblock.
We're gonna get you. We're gonna cut you off before you can get started here. Excuse me, sir.
Did he connive off his Bird Lawyer? Yeah. Alex Luke's letting him know that he casts 2 spells, the Goblin and the Morphose.
I see a lightning bolt there off the connive. I like that card in my hand.
Yes. One of the weaknesses of the Storm deck is killing these enabler creatures. It's not as good when he has to pay full price for these spells. And
Oof.
Bird Lawyer again.
Bird Lawyer again? I thought it's just on the second spell of a turn.
Yes, but they each have cast 2 now.
Oh, it was off each player. Oh, good stuff. Cat says 9 spells is enough. If Grape Shot is your 9th spell, you can remand it. You can bounce.
That's true.
Oh, that's gas. I like that. Gotta yell at our players and tell them to remind them. Excuse me, not yell. Remind gently. To use our dice. Hopefully, you guys can see it's a little 1 counter on the Leisure Shredder there. I guess I should ask, like, what is your Magic career been? When did you start playing Magic? When did you get into Modern?
I've been playing Magic for a long time, since before Kamigawa, the first
Original
time.
Kamigawa, yeah.
Right around the time they banned Affinity. And here comes Ragavan. Like I said, this is... You just don't want to be the deck taking the Death Touch to players Ragavan. Just... Because he has the second land, he can hold up another counter spell. He also may have gotten a card selection spell. Thankfully, he peeled off a land there. But
Thins the deck for Alex.
yeah, and it's an aggressive creature. It does a lot.
It does indeed do a lot.
But
and I think against Alex, who, Electromancer might be like the only creature in his deck.
No, he should have Baral. Depending on how classic it is. Baral, which I believe is a 1/3. Can
does
in
block.
turn re-embarrass Ragavan.
Mm-hmm. Brawl got a reprint in Merchant Machines. I love that Kaladesh special treatment border.
Well, hail to the chief. Get that out of here.
What are you playing in Modern nowadays?
So I played Modern when the format first came out. And like Pioneer, it started with a lot of bans. And I found myself very frustrated that they kept banning the janky red combo decks I kept gravitating towards.
Yeah.
Like Undying Flames, Confusion the Ranks, cards you've never heard of that have more paragraphs of text than Strixhaven cards.
Okay.
And so my standard deck at the time was Zombies, and I said, when they ban this, I am done with Modern. And then 2 things happened. 1, I started winning. And 2, they never did.
Yeah, no, I've seen you play Zombies here at the store.
That's correct.
Times.
It is 2023. I'm still playing my standard deck from 2010.
Right on. All right. Go mentioning not quite a zombie card. A Goblin Bombardment. I don't think.
Well, the 2 tribes have affinity for one another when it comes to just throwing yourself away.
Let's get back to the game here at hand, though. Alex has some mana floating.
Gonna spell snare that.
Oh, not too happy about that.
He is...
Main board spell snare, is that standard?
It can be.
It can be. Anything's possible.
Well, that's the thing about Magic, is only like 60 of the cards are main, and the remaining 10 are whatever you feel like at the moment, especially at your local game store.
Absolutely. That's what I like about playing at an LGS. Once you get into the higher tiers of Magic, it becomes not a solved game, but a lot closer, and the matchups, I feel like, have less variance, and that's what I like about Magic. It's chaotic, it's random, people misplay or play jank, and that's what I like.
Second Bird Lawyer, and the return of the monkey for our pal Blake Thompson. I love that too about Magic. You just change one land, and suddenly you're a brewer.
I put a second Boseiju in my Pioneer deck, and I'm like, oh, this is the tech I needed.
This
progress. Is going to win me the games.
Whatever it takes.
I mean,
whatever.
I wish it didn't take a $30 card, but...
Ooh, that's for another stream.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see. We got, speaking of, the NRG series coming up soon.
Very excited for that.
The June 24th and 25th. There will not be any Pioneer there. No. It's a team event, right?
No, the 2 big events are Modern on Saturday and Legacy on Sunday.
That's so embarrassing.
I am already signed up for both. I have the dates circled on the calendar.
Yes, we've got a lot of people really looking forward to the Legacy day there. And,
I do know the Discord flips out at the mere mention.
Yeah. We got something for everyone. Today we're rocking a little bit of a newer format. I don't know. How old is Modern?
About 2010.
Oh, okay.
It was as old as Pioneer was when Pioneer started.
So do you think in like 10 or 15 years we'll have like a new Pioneer?
Yes.
Like
I
like standard extended
It's very
essentially?
clear they want to recreate the extended Magic, and
Mhm.
they're trying to find a way to do it. Uh, Modern filled that void very well until basically just recently.
Mhm.
I blame it Modern Horizons too, but everyone else has their own. Carpool is just very large, so of course
Yeah.
things filter in and out. And you don't get what you want.
Mhm.
So Pioneer scratched that itch, and now they've extended Standard to 4 years,
3 years.
3 years,
Yeah.
which is itself
But still very
extended.
significant, I feel.
All right, it's decision time. You're at 7. Are you going to go for it? Can you go for it?
So I assume
So
sequencing is pretty
what
important.
is that? That's not a make disappear, but it is something.
I have no idea what this card
Is
is.
that a repeal? That could be a repeal. Repeal is the kind of card I would expect. X and a blue, bounce a thing, draw a card. A nice way to stay alive in this faster metagame. He picked up the Bird Lawyer, so I assume.
And a Past in Flames would make use of this hefty graveyard he's got.
It
here,
would, but you
correct?
do need to have mana left over after you cast it. And with only 3 lands, you got to start with a handful of rituals.
That's a good point.
Did you miss Ragavan? Because he's back in Pog form.
Wow, I love it. He's just a little guy.
Now we're at 6 damage, so discards a land there. I don't know. I think I just would have gone for lethal, but
Well, no. If he had connived, it would have.
yeah, and he attacked with the Bird Lawyer, the second Bird Lawyer.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? It doesn't have haste because he bounced it.
Oh, for sure.
Egg on my face. Bird egg.
Bird. I was gonna say there's not other kinds of eggs, but yeah, there's definitely more than one kind of animal that lays eggs. You know, snakes lay eggs. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Everyone has eggs.
I don't lay eggs. Well, okay.
You don't lay them.
Let's move on. All right, Alex starts off with a Goblin Electromancer here. But he's already shaking his head, I feel like. Okay. Here come the storm counters. Or the mana floating counters.
Yeah, it's gotta count the mana. He seems to think he has it. There's the 3 mana.
Not Seething Song.
Desperate Ritual from
Ritual.
Kamigawa. Seething Song. It's got Splice, but with +2 mana, that's basically a Seething Song.
Mm-hmm.
Reorganize.
I like the RK Post tokens here. I'm a big fan of his work. I see his tokens everywhere. I feel like a lot of people really like them.
Desperate Ritual has hit the table. They are beautiful tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And you only have so many opportunities to make the permanents beautiful because you don't play a lot of them.
These aren't even really permanents, are they?
No, but they're for everyone's benefit.
Yeah.
So a tip of the hat for keeping track for those at home.
I love tokens. I feel like they're a great way to like show off sort of your personality and add a little bit of flair to a deck without breaking the bank.
They're like inside jokes you get to tell with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
You get to let people in on your more Pico as Boo.
What do you like to use, like official tokens, or do you use like Pikachu's or?
I have, for my Minsk and Boo, I have a more Pico. I've taped together because in Pokemon they do amazing things like make 4 meld cards instead of 2 like in Magic.
Wait, so you?
So I unfold it when I plus onto it.
Wait, really?
Yes.
That's incredible. And that's your zombie token?
That's my Boo token.
Oh, that's your Boo token.
My zombie tokens are less exciting.
Uh-huh.
They're just zombies.
You're right. All right, so.
And that appears to have done it.
Did Alex Swift there?
I have to assume not enough more cards would have come out.
Yeah. We would have seen a much busier board state there from him.
I think he needed something to happen and it didn't.
Mm-hmm. All right, so while these two gentlemen sideboard, we'll pop over to a graphic for our next series events. Guys, if you're looking to play some high-tier competitive Magic, pop on over to Mundelein, Illinois, just 15 minutes north of our store. We'll be there June 24th and 25th, giving away over $15,000 in prize money as well as invites to the next regional championship. And you can earn points in our own circuit, the NRG series. On Saturday, we have a $10,000 Modern Showdown. The winner of that automatically qualifies to our championship event, as well as the RC. Sunday is a $5,000 legacy trial that will get you invites to the RC as well. And you get to play a fantastic format.
The best format, some would say.
Yeah, and if you want to play the main event and also do some other stuff, we got fantastic side events. We'll have artists. We have a cosplayer coming. I don't know if you saw that.
Cosplayer?
Yeah, they are dressing up as Elishnorn and the Witch King from Lord of the Rings.
Like split down the middle at the same time?
No. So one day, one of the cosplays, and then the other day, the other.
Well, I'm sold. I'll be there. I'll go both days. Modern and Legacy.
We'll both be there. I'll be working the booth. I'll be saying hi to a ton of people. Very excited. If you can't make that event, or if you're out of towner, we are going over to St. Louis in July for a team showdown. So get you and a couple of buddies, play for $10,000 and an invite. And then Legacy again, if that's your jam, we'll have more of that, plus all of our side events. We got some Mar, we got some Pioneer, all that good stuff, plus all that lovely stuff that you can do outside. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Anyway, you're sold. You're coming already. Go buy your tickets. It's on MTG Melee or Melee platform, melee.gg. Go check us out.
And what are the formats for the team event?
The team event is Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy.
Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy. Great. Those are 3 prime constructed formats.
I would say those are the biggest 3 besides Commander, which is kind of hard to...
Not a good tournament format.
Build a tournament around, correct. I know people are trying to. I think SCG maybe...
They can try.
Done. Yeah. We'll let them give it a go first, and if it works, we'll bring it into the Midwest.
Let them prove the concept.
As we get into Game 2 here, I don't have access to either of these deck lists here. Do you know perhaps what they might be bringing in against each other?
I have to imagine Murktide is going to bring in perhaps Hearse, some form of graveyard hate. The tradition is Storm needs the graveyard to just double up into their big combo turn. Alexander Luke might be accounting for this. It may switch from the titular Storm plan to something like Arya Flame, where it just needs to sit out there and he just needs to cast spells as it builds up and ends the game. That was the classic juke. We'll see what he does.
All right. So Arya Flame is an enchantment. I don't remember what it does, though.
Arya Flame is a 3-cost enchantment. When it comes into play, your opponent gains 10 life, and then every time you cast the spell afterwards, it gets a counter and deals damage equal to the number of counters. So you cast 7 spells, the game ends.
Okay, even with the 10 extra life that they gain.
Yes, it grows really fast.
Very cool.
We have it up on the screen for the folks at home.
Put a verse counter.
Yes, because it's an aria. You were singing the song of your people. And that song is fire. Lit, as kids would say today.
All right, we got a turn 1 Dragon's Ridge trailer from Blake. We didn't see it game 1, but there it is now. That'll help enable his strategy. Of course, it's got Surveil on it with all his non-creature spells. And maybe give him some graveyard interaction as well.
That is true. You can kill people with it on the stack, but it's very difficult to do. Many of your cantrips are sorcery speed. Like Sleight of Hand, we saw game 1. They used to run not preordained. Serum Visions, another sorcery speed. And here's just another way, I've said this all throughout the match, that Murktide just embarrasses a deck like Storm. This Dragon's Rage Channeler says Blake Thompson is not going to draw a brick the rest of the match. And Alex Luke is going to have to spend mana every turn to basically get the same effect while dealing no damage. While this Dragon's Rage every turn gets to attack for free.
That's a really good point. Yeah, with the Surveil, he'll be able to sort of fix the top of his deck so that a lot of his draws are going to be really good.
Right. In my opinion, this is the best one-drop creature in Modern. Don't at me, Ragavan stands.
I mean, it's a 1-1 versus a 2-1.
It's a 3-3 versus a 2-1.
Well, yeah, eventually.
It's a 3-3, I never draw a bad card again. So.
Well, who needs to worry about your own deck when you can draw out your opponent's deck?
That is true, but Scry 1 is worth draw 2.
All right. You heard it here first, folks.
Put it on a postcard. and mail it to Four Dogs in a Horse Suit at I don't care.
Is it like Santa? Like as long as you put the name, it'll find you?
You put the vibes out there, I'll find them. I'm terminally online. It's very hard to talk about me without me knowing.
But you told them to write it on a postcard, which is inherently
Yeah, because
not online.
that's how you get the vibes.
Okay.
You have to think harder. With the electromechanical motion. All right, so Brawl's out and spells are being cast. He's got the counters out. The suggestion is that you've done goofed and it's time.
You've tapped out. You've got no interaction. I'm going to do my stuff.
Force of Negation is the one card he has to play around, but again, what are you going to do? You can't. You just have to hope for the best.
And I assume Storm doesn't play any counter magic of their own. They just go for it, and if they countered,
they have a small suite depending on the player's personal preference. Remand, though, is stock. Brawl.
Oh, because it can interact with your own spells, right?
Yes, Remand can be used on offense and defense, and countering things with Brawl out does give you a free loot.
Oh, cool.
But that's not the synergy they lean into.
Alex, if people have seen him on the stream before, is a pretty experienced player, I would say. Plays a lot of blue decks, plays a lot of Spells Matters decks. So
yes, I've seen him. I've pasted him at NRG. He's pasted me right back the next day. The last Modern Legacy event. That was fun.
Yeah.
All right, we got -2 on all costs. So
that cost 1 to cast?
Still costs 1 because still got to pay your colored manas.
Right, of course.
And that's I cannot tell what that one is.
I was going to say it looks like Wish.
All right, that's a Wish. So go get exactly what you need. Surveil this, Dragon's Rage Chandler. One assumes he has it, but the smirk on his face suggests a mistake may have been made.
See, that's...
Nope, there's the pass. This
right.
game is over. Because now he gets to recast all these rituals, a handful of cantrips, wish again for whatever he needs. Grape Shot, probably. I'm not going to do the math.
Yeah, it looks like Alex is explaining to Blake just how dead he is. Hey, look, this is what I got. You probably don't got interaction, but at least when I see, I get explained like a combo kill for the first time, I make him play it out just so I see exactly how it works. I'm a visual learner. I don't want them to just tell me. I want them to show me that they can do it. I played in an RCQ against a mono green player. He killed me with Chain Veil and said he had never done the combo in paper before.
No, you never admit you've never done it before. I usually, only in game 3 do I make him play it out. It's not worth my time to hope they make a mistake.
That's fair.
One time, though, opponent insisted they wanted to play it out, and I'm like, okay, because they told me they were new to the deck and they want to play it out. So they did. I was ready to concede. I'm like, am I dead? And they're like, nah. You're like, let me play it out. Then they made a mistake. We had to call the judge, and we each got himself a nice hefty GRV, and then got a second one in the second match. So like,
oh gosh,
where's the wise? Your opponent's willing to scoop. Let them.
Let them scoop.
Take the W's any way you can.
I appreciate the willingness to learn though and improve themselves. They don't want to get handed a win.
That is true.
I respect that.
But the competitive REL tournament is not the place for that.
That's fair. You should probably have done that first or beforehand.
So just
I will note on our backup match, someone is playing their first game of Modern today.
Oh.
Yeah. So we might be able to get a look at that if these guys finish up in a timely manner. We did get a little bit of a delay start on our feature matches, so they are a little bit behind the rest of the room. So
well, Kat, you always make 4 horsemen play it out because the odds are roughly 60% that they have committed a stalling infraction, which is an automatic match loss.
Can you explain what that means?
4 Horsemen is an old legacy deck that involved a combo that was infinite but not deterministic. And if you bury your rulebook, you'll learn that combos have to have a definitive end. You can say, well, I can do this forever.
Yeah.
You have to be able to say, I'm only going to do it so many times. And because there was basically 4 Horsemen said, I'm going to mill my library, and if it's not in a certain order, I'm going to do it again. And because that involves luck, I can't tell you how many permutations this is going to take. If clauses are not allowed in loops.
So they have to manually go perform
which means they're not advancing the game state. And when you just take game actions without advancing the game state, I get to call a judge and say, do a thing.
Really? Oh, okay.
Break your loop so we
Yeah.
can keep playing the game.
Oh.
And the penalty for stalling is draconian. Because you are doing it intentionally, and the difference between slow play and stalling is intentional. And when your combo is intentionally not designed to win a game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's the point of the combo then? Like.
well, the rules were basically codified because this is a classic deck. The rules exist in their current form, in part to stop this sort of thing.
I see. Okay. So did Alex whiff here? I see Blake sitting at 4.
I don't see any way he could whiff. If he whiffed, we're in trouble.
Okay. So did he misplay then? Because we'll
I
just
have
go
to.
into Blake's turn here.
I have to imagine. Yes, he misplayed.
Oh goodness. All right. Right after we got done talking the man up.
I know how. All right. Well, there you go. Chat, always make him play it out. You never know.
Let's see if we can figure out the exact issue here. Bryce, did you seem like you caught something there?
It is. It gives all spells in your graveyard flashback, and it itself has flashback. So then any future spells he could cast, he could flashback Passing Flames to give flashback to them. And he had a handful of rituals. All his spells cost 2 less. Something we just must have missed, because I feel he should have been able to win from that spot.
Maybe we should do a post-game interview with Alex and have him explain himself.
Well, I don't think we need to kick him.
We'll kick him when he's down.
We'll see if he wins this.
Yeah. He's not out of it yet. He does still have a beefy 16 life.
He does, and at 4, a value grape shot could be enough.
Mm-hmm.
Ritual into flashback this Past in Flames into grape shot.
And even though the Electromancer's gone, he does still have a Baral.
He does still have a Baral.
But he just passes the turn back to Blake here.
Ooh, a fistful of Barals. See, that's the problem with the Chief, is you can only have one Chief.
Mm-hmm.
So drawing multiple copies here, they're stuck in his hand. Those are just the rules of words.
Is there any, like, I'm trying to think where, like, the Storm player has to, like, trade cards, so, like, he has to loot or something where, like, he needs a card to pitch, essentially, so, like, the Baral can help do that? Or is that, like, way too...
His sideboard might have subtlety. I know we saw Consider, so he has made changes since the last time Storm was the deck to beat.
That would make sense. I would hope it could innovate maybe a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes you just play what you have on hand.
Sure, yeah, just dig a deck out of the back of the closet. That's what I like about Magic. You can... Sometimes decks are just...
Cards
good.
rarely become illegal.
Right.
All right, got another one. He's playing a fetch. I believe that is also a new addition. It's my understanding Storm did not play fetches. For whatever reason, they just valued the life total more.
Yeah. Maybe because they're so susceptible to beatdown.
That could be it.
But I feel like fetching is good because they're a combo deck. They need to draw well, right? You don't want to draw more lands.
That's true, but the math on it is you're not looking at very high gains here.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that the life loss would matter more than the fitting. The fetches are there, so he's got to flash it back for 4, right? I believe it's 5 -1.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's not going to do
back.
An undo has been declared.
We're having a good time here.
It looks like our players are having a good time
too. Vibing. That's all you can ask for at a local.
Fetching the 3. That takes guts against the red deck, even Storm. Yeah, shock it in. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Put him to 1. Easy.
What's he going to do?
He don't got the grape shot.
Grape shot?
He don't got it.
I'm going on a treasure
consider.
cruise.
Sorry, was that Treasure Cruise you drew?
No, not in this format.
I was about to say you got to consider, and you hit me with that.
I'm just peeking at what the kids at home are saying, letting us know about Treasure Cruise, everyone's favorite ancestral recall.
I
Well, it's
got
the
to
one
cast
you
that
can get your
card.
hands on, so.
Yeah, I got to cast that card for the first time last year.
Lucky ducky.
I tried out Is It Phoenix in Pioneer. I was like, oh my god, this card's incredible. It was so fun.
And that's why it's banned everywhere else.
Yeah. That's what I like about these smaller card pools is that you get to play with more powerful stuff, or they're not as abusable because they don't have so many ways to like. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
It does. And here comes the titular Murky Boy.
About time. Just a measly 5/5.
I feel like these bird lawyers are about to make their closing arguments on the case of the storm, and the verdict will be in.
Is it supreme?
No, because I imagine what he's doing is going to be counterable.
Woo! We got good jokes here tonight, folks. Thank you all for joining us. I'll be here all week. I work here. I don't go home. I live here too.
Tip your waitress.
If you're liking that content, though, be sure to drop a follow. We stream on this account for our local streams at the store, and then you should also make sure to drop a follow over at twitch.tv/NRG series. We will be live with full weekend coverage at our series event on the 24th and 5th.
Just make it sound more and more exciting. I want to enroll a second time.
I don't know how that would work.
Well, I do have my real name. All right. He's going for it. Where does he just? He must not have a grape shot.
Yeah, he's just digging.
There should be one in the grave. So I don't know why he's. Yeah. He's
kill you.
Got to cast the force spell to play around a counter spell.
He does have a mystical dispute. Excuse me.
He does, but he has to wait for the trigger to resolve, or he will just be playing right into his hand. And Flusterstorm is an out I could expect from Murktide. And that does it.
That'll take us to a game 3 here.
Looks like Luke managed to pull it back.
It looks like they're gonna take a quick look at sideboards. Something that I still am struggling to figure out: sideboarding differently while on the play versus the draw.
So you're a Merfolk player, yes?
I've played Merfolk. In Modern right now, I play Hammer. Usually.
Do you play Aether Vial in Merfolk?
Of course.
How much worse is Aether Vial on the draw versus the play?
I don't know.
It's a lot worse.
It's a lot worse.
Your opponent plays Ragavan, you play Aether Vial, you might as well go home.
Oh, okay. So you take out Aether Vials?
So like this is an example of play versus draw. On the draw, your Aether Vial isn't as good, so you're more likely to take it out. So on the play, you put in more proactive cards because you're going to be up 1 more mana versus your opponent. On the draw, you have less likely to be the beatdown. So maybe you take these cards out thinking, I'm going to have to let my opponent cast their spells and I'm going to have to play off that.
I have learned a little bit about that because I play in Pioneer a deck with Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystics in it. And those on the play versus the draw can do very different things, right?
Yeah, and those are just Pioneer Aether Vials.
Yeah.
Just cheating up the curve, letting you double spell a turn.
Lets me Coco on turn 3. I love it.
I call that the dream. Just live it.
If only I could draw them when I need them.
Angels, right?
Yeah. Great deck. Big fan.
I agree.
One of a list by Stephen Yeen, if that's how you pronounce it, did pretty well at the RC this past weekend. I've been reading up on his cyborg guide that he dropped on Twitter, and been playing with his deck on Arena. I really like the innovations that he's made to it. I feel like Angels is pretty stock in terms of its main board, but its sideboard is where a lot of people get very, very different with it.
Yeah. I play Angels on Arena as well because it's a nice way to just play a bunch of white spells for turn. Thankfully, though, I've managed to get out of Arena.
Yeah. Do you play Moto now or just no online Magic for you?
I do have Moto, but They're just so good on Moto.
See, Moto is intimidating to me because
It's a
it's
true paper experience. It is a paper simulator.
yeah.
Arena is a game.
Yes, and that's what I like about it. I like the gamified stuff. I like when
The
someone
opposite.
casts like a Bone Crusher Giant, you see like a giant stomp on the game stage, and
Couldn't
it's cute.
couldn't
I love
disagree
it.
harder. Nothing I hate more than watching. Oh, was it the Brazen Borrower show up with his greasy face to giggle at me? I cast you. Why are you doing this to me? Why do I have to see you? Shut up.
Wow. Okay.
And I spent a wild card for this?
Yeah. But it's great. You get free packs in your pre-release kits. It's fully it's great.
I get free packs in my pre-release kits when I go to a pre-release. And they don't giggle at me.
Well, you're gonna be hearing a lot of giggling soon, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
No, because I have moved the arena icon off my desktop.
You can uninstall it. You don't just like
And why does it download like a gig every other week I turn it on?
because there's a new set every other week.
I have a lot of bad things to say about Arena, and we're just getting to the technical things. You know how hard it is to install it on an external hard drive? Probably not, because this is an issue for you, but some of us only have a very small operating system hard drive, and then we have the secondary hard drive, but it'll only install on the one hard drive, and you have to set up binding redirects.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Wow, look at that Ragavan. How
Here
about that?
comes Ragavan.
Oh boy, it's a
And
sleight of hand.
Just look at this mana advantage. 3-1, and you cast the cantrip.
There's another sleight of hand. Do you think he's digging for a second land?
I have
oh
to-
my God.
I'm willing to believe that. And here it is, a Scalding Tarn. I am a robot, but you're not supposed to say so.
The first thing I bought or I downloaded when I got my computer, like recently, I got a new computer recently. First thing I downloaded was Google Chrome, and then
Let me guess.
and then
The
Arena.
second thing, yeah. Cool.
I like Arena. I'm not a good Magic player. I like to play Arena.
That's fine, but
It's fun. It brings me joy.
I'm not here to yuck your yum.
I appreciate that. I think a lot of Magic players take a lot of joy in yucking other people's yums.
No, just know though. If you keep bringing it up, I do have a lot to say on it.
All right, absolutely.
So, like,
this is a safe space.
fair
You're
trade-off
free.
here.
Yeah, absolutely. Ragavan gets taken down by a lightning bolt there.
So we'll see if Blake goes down to 3 again, knowing that the bolts are out there. Crypt.
Tormod's Crypt there. Good way to deal with a graveyard there.
One thing about Crypt, though, is it is face up, and costing 0, it's very weak to repeal.
Interesting. Yeah, because he has access to stuff like Relic of Progenitus, perhaps, or Unlicensed Hearse, which I feel like is a lot more stock.
Yes. I don't know if this technology has permeated to Modern, but also you would have, like, Surgical.
Sure. Oh, I wish I had Surgical Extraction last night in my freaking green-white deck. I was playing against Lotus Field, and I was just not having a good time.
Yeah, but you're just Pioneer. Just drop a Leyline. Call it a day.
Well, I don't play that.
Never spend mana on something that costs 0. Leylines are free. Just slam them on the table.
All right. What have you been playing on Arena or on Moto recently, Cats? Are you practicing for the upcoming NRG series event?
Bad law.
Cat is one of my picks to make champs this year. They've been working a lot on their magic skill recently, and I feel like they've got a lot of good willpower and fortitude, and I think they're ready to grind out the series this year. I'm
playing a lot of Legacy, but are you playing any Legacy on the weekly Friday nights here at NRG?
Whoa, good points. Y'all, have you ever heard of a Legacy FNM? If not, come on down this Friday, 6:30. Come play with some powerful Magic cards.
That sounds fantastic. Where do I sign up?
You sign up in store. There's no pre-registration.
You mean I can just show up and play one of the greatest constructed formats that Magic the Gathering has to offer?
Absolutely. Oh goodness. We don't need to talk about dead formats. All right, let's talk about the formats we support in the store.
That's
I heard you. That's the
kids
important
at
part.
home can't hear it, but we have an Oathbreaker aficionado in the chat tonight.
No. Tiny leaders. That's his format.
Tiny Leaders, of course, named after the tiny amount of players. Where you can all be a thought leader in Tiny Leaders because there's no one else to play with.
Oh my goodness. Is this a Serum Visions there?
Yep.
From Alex? Trying to get a peek at his hand here. I see some rituals, of course. Here comes an Electromancer.
Electromancer? Yep.
Seems good.
I think that's a Fire Ice. Nah, that can't be.
Get out of here. Countered away by Blake. Sees, gets a Surveil trigger there.
That man has been noped.
Oh, I remember the first time I saw a counterspell altered with the like Batman slapping Robin. Oh, great day.
There's a lot of good counterspells out there.
Oh, absolutely. There's just endless endless iterations.
Speaking of yucking yum, there's plenty of ways to express the word no.
Yeah, it's I liked playing counterspell when I played it. Gotta say, hate having it cast against me. Not a fan.
All right, we're going back to night school here with Bird Lawyer number 2. Last game, Alex Luke managed to fight the law, and the law did not win. So we'll see what happens game 3. But this is just a very powerful card selection engine that Blake has.
Indeed. Indeed, he's made a lot of good use out of it. Alex just got a full grip full of cards here. Seems like he's just stewing on these 2 blue sources.
It's
That,
the
Blake's
combo
got open
player's
here.
favorite question. Do you have the counter? In Legacy, the tapped out lands, we get to ask, do you have the Force of Will?
Exactly. I've found typically you always just got to make them have it, right?
You
You
do.
can't just sit there and let them stomp all over. You got to put pressure on them at some point.
That's true. And we've talked about this card selection engine. The longer you wait, the worse it's going to get.
Exactly. Just
So
the odds of them having it go up pretty quickly.
You got to do what you got to do. And here you go. But he does have that crypt, so we'll have to fight through that.
Mhm. Resolving a quick Ledger Shredder trigger there.
And here comes the Manamorph pose. Arguably the best cantrip in Alexander Luke's deck. So nice, he'll play it twice. Now, if you're the Murktide player, you gotta just be just the other side of the combo table. Just like, does he have it? Just gotta.
Yeah. So, at what point do you crack the Tormod's Crypt when he goes for a Past in Flames? I assume.
Yes, that would be when I would do it. It's a sorcery, so you know he can't do it in response. I don't know how he could punish you. I do know that if you wait for it to resolve, you will. That will be a powerful mistake, since he'll have priority first. Here's a wish. You have 15 cards to choose from, Alex. Pick the best one. Well, the second best one, I don't know. Whatever your little heart desires. And his heart desires... Not Blood Moon.
No, definitely not that one.
Doesn't look like Echoing Truth is going to be this selection either. I think I saw Grape Shot.
I saw Gifts Ungiven. I don't think that's the play either.
Not into this crypt. Oh,
What is that? A planeswalker?
that's a Chandra. I think that was Torch of Defiance.
From Kaladesh? Right?
Yes, the 4 mana.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he got?
Blake hiding behind his cards here.
You know, everyone has, you got to pray to the heart of the cards sometimes.
Absolutely.
Survey says.
Magic gods, wizards, people in the sky.
Garfield, Hollow B. He's going to consider. We surveyed 60 cards. Top 6 are in the hand. Is that a wish? Is he going to try this again? Oh, all this was in response to the wish, I have to believe. Doing a count real quick.
For Delirium, checking for Delirium there on the Dragon's Ear Channeler. And he's going to use the Grape Shot to clear the board here. All right, so we're kind of back to square one here.
We are. But Alexander Luke has a lot of value sitting in that graveyard.
But he's still got this Tormod's Crypt looking at him.
Well, that's true. Just got to find a way around that. I don't know. Maybe he forgets.
I don't know if that's the line to take, but we'll see. We'll see if
The thing about these face-up answers is that everyone knows they're there. So Alexander Luke already has this in his game plan.
Right.
Or he would have scooped.
Sure, yeah. Oh, and there's the gifts Ungiven. We saw in his sideboard earlier.
So originally, this was called Gift Storm because this was the titular card, how you would go off. You would get a Past in Flames, a ritual, a second ritual, and I forget what else. And no matter what your opponent chose, you would always be able to just win because you would cast your rituals and then flashback your rituals, flashback your gifts, and then I've lost a lot of games to Storm.
I have not, but I'm enjoying watching this play out here. It's fun to see a current deck versus an older veteran deck.
Looks like we have a question. I think he's considering if now is the window to crack the crypt. I'm going to disagree, Blake, but I'm not the one playing. We'll see what he decides. I think he's agreed with me.
He's got a handful of nothing really on Blake's side. Can we get Gifts Ungiven pulled up real quick?
Gifts Ungiven, target. So you get to search for any 4 cards with different names, and then target opponent is going to pick 2 of them, and those 2 will be placed into your graveyard. The remaining 2 will go into your hand.
So do you just pick 2 copies of 2 cards?
No, because they must all have different names.
Oh, okay, I see.
But when you have Pyretic Ritual and Desperate Ritual, that's 2 rituals. The trick, not present in this deck, but in Standard, was that if you choose fewer than 4 cards, because this is a search with conditions, you can fail to find.
Oh.
This was like a revelation, intentionally failing to find so that your opponent had to put 2 reanimation targets into your graveyard.
Wow. That's so interesting. That's so cool. I love that.
I'm being told Frank Karsten was the first to do it. I know there's an entire Ristic Studies video on just this interaction.
Really? I haven't gotten through the whole Ristic Studies library yet. I've been furiously devouring the whole playlist though, because that guy cannot make a bad video.
I suggest paying the one and just getting through it. Because there's a lot of good content there.
Absolutely. And I heard he, I think he did the writing for a Wizards or a video that Wizards put out for Lord of the Rings, I believe. There's a sort of vignette on like the art direction, I believe.
I believe it.
He's a verbose, well-spoken man. What's this green card?
This would be Noxious Revival. Phyrexian green, put a card from your graveyard, I believe, on top or into hand. It's a regrowth that you don't have to pay mana for. So it looks like he's going to get it countered. I don't know why it's exiled. Did he choose?
Did it? Yeah, it got hit with the crypt.
Oh, he must have done it in response to the crypt. Okay, that would be the sequencing that makes sense to me.
All right, looks like
All right,
Blake's in top deck mode here.
take a peek. That's a remand. Remand, one of those cards that all the oldest modern players shake their fist at angrily every time it is removed from a deck list. They just dream and they just want it back.
All right, here comes the beatdown again. Ragavan dashed out, so it can attack.
Hasty haste haste. Take a mana, take a spell.
I think he cast the sleight of hand there.
Yeah. Ooh, saw a spell snare into a face-up Baral.
So how does Spell Snare interact with a Baral on the field? Does it look at
Well, Baral
converted
costs
mana
2,
cost?
so it's never going to make it to the field.
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah.
yes, converted mana cost or mana value, as they say these days,
Right.
does not change no matter how little or how much you're paying for a spell. So now we get to be the Walter White meme. No, Alex, he's got the spell snare.
Alex, no! It's a great meme.
It is.
Big fan of it.
Nobody's tapping out of it. Well, he still got the treasure. Ragavan returns the hand.
He'll be back.
One assumes. Wah, 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 wah.
No reaction from Alex there. He's got some. No.
Nah, he's got another one. I just let it go.
Oh, he does have it. Wow. Look at that.
Yep. And now Remand is online, but it is face up. So Remand here will draw him 2. One from Baral, one from itself, and the loot. He's got to pitch one. So he's not out of options here.
Blake drew another land.
So does that die signify turn 2? Have we gone to time?
It appears we have. Fortunately, we won't get to our backup match then.
Yeah, and this is why I usually concede the combo. I do not want to be in this situation. Because I think I'd get more percentage points had I ended that previous match 10 minutes earlier than if, well, he made a mistake and won anyways. But I'm sure he'll watch the VOD and let me know how wrong I am. How he had to do it that way, and what am I even thinking?
That's my favorite thing when we stream. When the players go back after the event, they go home and they watch it, and they're like, "Oh man!" Like they get to see their bad beats happen in
That's not a storm count, buddy. He's just showing I don't have 8 damage, so am I dead? You tell me, pal.
All right.
Ooh, playing into the lava dart, bold. All right.
And did he get
Surface
it? Is that the
test.
win? It's not nothing.
A land has been played, and he's just gonna fetch shock.
What if Blake like had a
double bolt?
Had a bolt in here. Oh my
That
gosh.
would.
I think I would just leave. I don't think.
Yeah.
If I was Alex and I oh gosh. Okay.
Some people are saying that they enjoy watching their mistakes. They learn from them. But
I think that's the healthy approach, yeah.
yeah, but I don't spend this much money on the game to learn.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know what to say to that.
He's going for the loot here.
There is a counter spell in Blake's hand, so I don't think Alex is gonna get there.
I think I would let him do it.
You
But
think so?
these cards don't matter to me, but he does turn it down. Now, Alexander Luke does have 7 mana. You can do a lot with 7 mana here, but not when your hand is just a brawl.
No, not quite enough.
He-
Whoa.
Yeah, so
Oh.
looking, there were business spells there.
All right, so our feature match there ends in a tie, 1-1-1. While we are picking out some feature matches, don't forget to follow the channel, twitch.tv/NRG Store. And if you're looking for some high-tier competitive Magic, head on over to twitch.tv/NRG Series. We'll be live the weekend June 24th and 5th with our next event. In the meantime, we're going to go pick some feature matches. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're in round 2 here of 4 of our weekly Wednesday night modern here in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, at the Nerd Rage Gaming storefront. We've got a great matchup for you here. We got Adam Weiss playing Hammer and Isaac playing Elementals, Karuga Elementals, I believe. Both longtime regulars of the store. I expect a really good matchup here. Oh, there's the Karuga, of course, yeah.
Right there on the table.
You can see it right there.
Went to Macro Sage College.
Mm-hmm. We're just going to let our players know that they can get started here, and we'll get right into this match. What can you tell me about the Elemental Hammer matchup?
I would say what I say most of the time when it comes to Hammer is your opponent having 0 cost ways to just say, nope, your combo doesn't work anymore is going to be a problem. Solituding a guy carrying a hammer is not a good look for you.
Mm-hmm.
But with Karuga, a lot of the things that I would be really scared of, the ephemerates, the more scammy elements aren't present. So I honestly, I'm not familiar with this Karuga build, so I don't know. But I would have to imagine that Solitude's still going to be there. And is that a Fable?
It is a Fable, yeah. We got a little bit of glare there, but I did see that famously good card. Shows up in a lot of formats nowadays.
Well, one less.
Right. Was banned in Standard recently.
Kiki Jiki would be happy that he's breaking formats, breaking mirrors.
Mm-hmm. On Adam's side of the table, we got a Sigarda's Aid and a Pure Steel Paladin. And hopefully some equipments in his hand, I would think, if he kept.
He's certainly threatening an equipment here. My Tutu would like to just attack into your Tutu.
Bonk.
Also, mine's a rare. Yeah, so I think he's playing around Solitude here, because that could have been easily a win, but Solitude would have messed that up.
I see a Solitude.
And here it is.
There it is.
Shot called, shot declared.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the protection spell, what do you do?
Oh my god, you got everything.
Is that a blacksmith skill?
It is indeed.
All right, so that's a...
That's a hexproof. That's a hexproof hexproof Paladin there. We'll smack in for a hefty 12.
El Kabunk.
Adam always seems to have the best draws when I see this man play. I swear to God.
But if he can get a second Solitude, Adam will have very little left. He's out of white mana. He can't do that trick again. But a second hammer, though, and that Ink Moth is back online.
I wonder if Hammer ever plays any ways to get a hammer back into hand to, like, replay it? Do they do that ever?
They have, like, 8 ways to get the hammer, so they don't need...
even more ways?
Yeah, but the rumor is the Lord of the Rings 3-cost enchantment might provide them a way to bring the hammer back.
Is that on Scryfall yet? No, you don't think?
No, it's on Scryfall. You just have to know the name.
Probably. Forge anew. Look at that. When Forge Anew enters the battlefield, return target equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Wow, that does seem really good. As long as it's your turn, you may activate equip abilities anytime you can cast an instant, and you can pay 0. Wow. This card really just does a whole lot of good things for this deck.
It enables everything you want to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll bring back my hammer. I can equip it to the one you didn't block, and you are dead.
It does cost 3 mana, which is like kind of a lot for hammer.
It is asking a lot,
but it just does so much. It's got to see some play when it first comes out, at the very least.
And the soldiers of Aganjo are going to say no to Solitude.
Is that some lore I'm missing?
Well, it's a castle. It's full of people, and, there's only one Solitude. You gotta make your own lore for these cards.
I think they come with lore. I don't think you gotta make up lore.
Yeah, but it's called the Ludo narrative. The story is how you play the game.
Right. We're watching 2 wizards cast spells. They control. There's a literal hammer that we gave to a little guy.
Real big hammer.
Real big hammer.
Or it could just be a normal-sized hammer on a little guy.
I think it's... What if it's just a normal hammer and the guy's just really little? Oh, goodness.
It's +10/+10 proportionally.
Yeah, in a Bone Crusher Giant's hands, it looks fine. In a little Frodo's hands, a little bit bigger.
Bone Crusher Giant's got like one of those squeaky hammers.
Oh, there was this Pokemon that I saw. I forget what it's called. It's got a hammer, though.
Tinkaton.
Tinkaton! That's the one. Yes. Oh, I want some Tinkaton, like, tokens or something. I don't know.
You know what Tinkaton hammers are made of? Corviknights.
Corviknights? Like the other Pokemon?
Yes.
So
yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Dude, there's some, like, sad lore Pokemon. Like...
You only say that because a Cubone kills its mother every time.
How did he know? How did he know? That's exactly what I was thinking of. It's so sad.
All right.
Oh, that was the first magic lore story that I ever read was a sad one. I don't know if you know Felden's like lore with like his wife, and he's like an artificer and like all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, good story. Really, really great. I've been listening to the Magic podcast. I've only gone through a couple of episodes, but I really want to get into it more. I've been listening to them talk about Kaladesh and Chandra, and I just eat it up.
My personal opinion on Feldon, though, is that he is one of the greatest villains in Magic for deciding not to go left or right, but his third way, his third path.
Indeed. Fire and Ice on the stack, killing a paladin.
That one's out there for the political science majors. Looking out for you with our third way jokes.
A paladin was potentially a big threat, even though, ideally with the Sigarda's aid on the field, you want to cast that hammer onto a creature. Of course, the paladin can enable you to just slap it back onto someone if you meet the requirements for it.
That's true. And with nothing going on Adam's side of the field, I have to believe that this one is slipping away from him.
He got up to a beefy 32 life, and Isaac has absolutely clawed his way back, doing what Elementals does best, and just playing some very strong cards and regaining a lot of board sort of control here.
Yeah, Hammer's trying to make some very high quality creatures, but in the end, it's only making a few of them.
Right.
And when you do that, you're playing right into Solitude's game. He spent how many cards to make that a 12/12 guy, and Isaac here spent 2 to undo it.
Draws an Esper Sentinel, which, gotta say,
not the card for this matchup.
Yeah. And then Hammer, Hammer burns real bright in the beginning, sort of peters out, and I feel like that's what we're seeing here from Adam. What can he draw to get him out of this situation?
An Ursa Saga is pretty much... Well, that's a good one.
Paladin's not bad.
A Paladin is a good one.
And the Esper Sentinel is an artifact. So.
The Esper Sentinel is an artifact. Also, the Ink Bus artifact. You could animate it to get the third, which it looks like he is planning... Oh, he's got some plan for this, but...
Isaac's got a response here. And we'll ley line binding on...
Yeah, shut that right down.
That Paladin. That makes sense. Looks like Adam does have an Urza Saga in hand, by the way.
That is true. He played a land. He probably had other uses for it. The color requirements of the whatchamacallit guy are pretty steep.
Esper Sentinel.
The Sentinel and the Knight.
Right, yeah, that is 3 white sources that you need for that.
I think I would have tried to get that Saga down, but
yeah, just start getting it churning through those chapters as quickly as possible.
I try to claw back some card advantage. The 3-for-1. Because if you had a big guy on the field, you get first priority when your Knight resolves. So you'd be the first one to equip. For example, he had to animate, and that created a window for Leyline Binding.
Interesting. All right. Isaac is, I see, casting Karuga here. Grabbing some good value.
The Macro Sage, everyone's favorite hippo.
It's a good one. I'm a big fan. It did some work at the RC this weekend. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not, but I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah, Elliot Rav, who, if you don't know, level 3 judge in the Roanoke area, has done some work for the NRG series, went 12-0 into top 8, 24-1 with a Karuga Elementals deck, I believe.
Well,
Sorry, and Enigmatic Fires.
Oh, I was gonna say Karuga.
Karuga
this
Fires.
Is where he got the list.
Not Elementals, Karuga Fires.
We have a Risen Reef on the table now.
Cast that hippo for a lot of value this weekend. Unfortunately, lost in his quarterfinals match.
Tragedy.
Put up some good work and qualified for the Pro Tour in Barcelona.
I'll take a 24-1 start to my day.
Yeah, no kidding. A grueling 13-hour day, by the way, from what I heard. A lot of troubles getting those rounds fired on time.
No, Hammer manages to do it.
All right, an Ink Moth with a hammer on top is enough to do it regardless of where you're at. So Adam will scoop up game 1 there. While our players are sideboarding here, let's take a look at the weekly schedule for the store. If you guys are in the area, we're in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, and we have a ton of different games that you can play. Let's look at our Magic schedule first. On Mondays and Thursdays, we have Commander Nights. That's open play. Come and join people that you don't know. Bring people that you do know. We offer promo packs for every pod that fires. On Tuesdays, we have Pioneer, my favorite format. Wednesdays, of course, we have Modern. And Friday is our Legacy F&M. We're going to be restarting drafts as well once Lord of the Rings Middle-earth comes out. So come and join us for that if you're interested. If you're not into Magic or if you're looking to get into another game, we have Digimon, One Piece, and Pokémon. Digimon is on Mondays and Saturdays. We have our EX04 case tourney coming up. I'm very excited for that. One Piece, we have starter decks. Big Mom Pirates pre-orders already on our site, as well as, of course, OP03 Pillars of Strength coming out at the end of the month. We'll have pre-release events for that and tons of boxes. Boxes probably going up for sale or for pre-order by the end of the week, so hop on that. One Piece is, of course, on Tuesdays and Fridays. And then Pokemon. Pokemon, we have our League Cup. You can qualify for Worlds if you win. Very exciting for that. Or just check out our regular weeklies. We run a league once a month on the last Thursday of the month as well. Check it out. We stream that as well. So if you like what you're seeing tonight and want to see some more, we'll be here tomorrow with Pokemon. Let's talk about our Discord real quick. If you have questions for the store or want to get to know the people that come to the store, get to know anything going on in the store, join our Discord. We got one for the store and one for the series. Check that QR code in the corner there.
And Discord just added folders, so you can keep these two servers together for your own benefit.
I love Discord. I feel like it's got it's got more functions than, it's got functions I didn't even know I wanted.
All right, so Discord, it's IRC. Let's not lose our heads.
What's that mean?
Internet Relay Chat. We had Discord.
Uh-huh.
We had this 20, 30 years ago. Okay, we just didn't put this little fancy overlay on it but we had servers.
I like the fancy overlay. I like it. I like
All
it's babyfied. Like I don't know. I
it
don't need to
it's
like.
IRC.
I didn't do for. Well, I did do forums, but like, it's very neat. It does its job well.
So is connecting to Sorcery Net on my Trillion alt.
I don't even know what that means. That is.
Consider that a blessing.
All right, for sure. We're gonna get into game 2 here. Isaac looks like he's on the play with a grip of 7 cards. Adam is taking a
Teferi, a
mulligan.
Fire and Ice. These are all cards that will do some work.
Absolutely. What is Adam bringing in to deal with this elementals deck? Do you think? What kind of
Well,
interaction?
I
do you see
may
before?
have a spoiler since I want to meet my heroes. I'm therefore in the Nerd Rage Discord. And I believe the signal went out for Surge of Salvation.
I did see that. Oh, goodness.
So
yeah.
Fury, a card I would normally be worried about if I was on Adam's side of the table, I can now scoff at, knowing that I have Surge of Salvation in my sideboard.
And I love it because Surge of Salvation works for the whole turn. Or no, sorry. It's hexproof at first and then no damage from red or black sources for the rest of the turn.
It has a lot of text, and it's very good against Fury. It's very good against this Fire, Ice, but it doesn't answer the white threats like Teferi, Solitude, and who knows what else is in this Karuga Elementals deck. And for those, I'm probably bringing in more copies of the Blacksmith skill, but I may have had to cut those for these Surges of Salvation.
Right, that might take up the same sort of sideboard slots there. So might have yeah. Interesting to see what Adam might have here. He starts off with an Esper Sentinel. Not the most powerful turn 1 play, but of course.
No, but it carries a weapon, and that's all Adam is looking for.
Absolutely. It's a body that can hold a hammer.
And as it can attack, it also is a weapon.
Indeed it is. It does do 1 point of damage itself. Stoneforge Mystic, of course, a classic turn 2 play. What are we grabbing? Is it a hammer?
I saw a Steel Shaper's Gift in his hand, so I don't think it will be a hammer. And here it is, Cauldron Complete.
My favorite. I love a Cauldron.
So Cauldron Complete is also a little risky here because the same things that are going to stop your hammer plays are going to stop your Cauldron plays. Basically, a Solitude on the Stoneforge, and that Cauldron is in his hand the rest of the game.
Right, yeah. You very rarely get to the point where you're hard casting a Cauldron, and if you are, you're assumedly very behind.
And the argument is, well, he didn't sword something that had a hammer on it, which he's the pilot, so we're going to trust him. I don't play this deck, so I don't know what the right line is.
I haven't played this deck in a long time, and I think Adam's probably a better pilot than me, so I'm going to trust that he knows what he's doing.
He did win game 1 from a position I thought was unwinnable, doing lines I did not think he would do, so he clearly has the chopperonis.
And wow, Isaac cleans up Adam's entire board there. And
there's that Fury we talked about.
The Fire and Ice, did it kill the...
I believe he pitched the Fire and Ice to cast the Fury.
Oh, I see. So what happened to the Urza Saga?
The Urza Saga was bounced to this Teferi, which is shined up.
That's what I was trying to figure out, what the Teferi was targeting.
That's what happens when you give your lands enchantment subtypes, or types. They become vulnerable.
Yeah, so I play a Maria's Call in my Angels deck in Pioneer, and that's a land that can just get thought seized.
Yeah.
Which
Belcher
has only
players
happened once, but it was very upsetting when it happened. So yeah, lands that are more than lands, sometimes not the best thing. Sometimes really good.
Karuga into hand.
I think I like to see that as
a display of dominance.
An aggro player.
If I'm the hammer player, I like it because it doesn't pitch the Solitude. That's what I'm basing everything around is my opponent has tapped out. Can they Fury me? Can they Solitude? And if the answer is no, then but it pitches to Force a Figure.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness.
And you can just see it on Adam's face. What did I do to deserve this? A polite chuckle as he's down to 1 land versus opponent's 4 and a Teferi. All fun, thoroughly raffled.
And passes the turn. I'm trying so desperately to see what he has. I saw a Blacksmith Sill and I think an Ink Moth. And you said Was it 2?
We know he has a Cauldra.
Right.
Blacksmith skill, Cauldra. These lands he can't. The Ink Moth.
Yeah, Arisen Reef down on the field there for Isaac.
Yeah, so now
Cat's favorite creature. Cat, you'll see. There's your guy.
all aboard the value train. Choo choo.
Favorite 1/1.
I'm so happy that card's only a 1/1.
What's your favorite 1/1?
My favorite 1/1 of all time.
It's pretty broad question. Hard to answer on the spot.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. There's a lot of them out
There's
there.
so many of them. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Boduka Gardner.
Which one?
It's a flip card
Uh-huh.
from Kamigawa.
Yeah.
Costs 2.
Yeah.
Tap, put a land to play. If you have a lot of lands,
Yeah.
flip it. And then the flip guy says that whenever you can just pay like 6 and tap and make an XX, where X is the number of lands you got.
Wow. And that's your favorite one?
Well, put on the spot, that's the one I'm gonna
That's the
go
one you
with.
thought of? I was just gonna say Elvish Mystic, so like I don't even know. That's just the first thing I thought of that I don't know, like Tide Shaper.
Well, you could do worse than a Lena War cover band.
Is Tide Shaper even a 1/1? I think it might be a 2.
Well, it is until it hits the table.
Right. Wow, that's a lot of money. That's a real nice Elishnorn right there.
That is going to, if I'm Adam, I think it's time to go to game 3.
No. Let's see what you draw. Come on, you're not dead yet. You got 22 life.
Well, my Stone Forges have been turned off.
A single hammer and you win.
You have to equip it. You gotta equip,
Oh, you gotta equip it.
which you're not going to be able to do with Sigarda's Aid. This is the only way you're going to get to do it.
We're getting there. We're getting there. It's happening. We're
Eh,
not getting there.
He's just going to say
We're
no
dead.
to that.
It's fine.
That's
I'm trying really hard not to pick favorites here.
2 paladins down.
It's a very overpowered. I as soon as someone starts losing, I start rooting for them. Isaac's doing a great job here. Got a lot on the board to mess with.
Well, we've seen two thorough reversals already.
Oof. Omnath on the field, get a couple of triggers there.
Lost to this line a few times.
Yeah.
Omnath showing up and just saying, I'll gain 7 life a turn.
And the Elishnorn doubles the triggers, right? Or
Yes.
is that the other one?
Elishnorn, if it's that Elishnorn, it will double the triggers. So he's going to go straight from drop his land, gain 4 life, get Omnath's second trigger. So he's going to go straight into Mana Town, and then now drop another land and take the damage. And he's got 2 fetches, so he can go to his turn, crack them, and get another 4 triggers.
Oh, gosh. That's pretty gross.
And we have Teferi's Despair as we're just dropping a second one.
Yeah, we're just going to use it to draw some more cards. I see another Solitude, an Omnath in Isaac's hand there.
He's going to bounce his... he just wants to recast it. Just do it again. That's a Muldrifter land right there. Build your own Muldrifter. Muldrifter and also all my elementals are themselves Muldrifters. Except for Muldrifter, of course, which is a double Muldrifter.
Wow, I feel like mentally for me, if I look at Adam's board state and I look at Isaac's board state, I feel very intimidated. I feel pretty down.
Well, Magic has many rules, one of which is the 104th rule.
Exactly?
Yes, 104, Section 3.
Yeah.
A. It allows you to concede a game at any time. A player,
I thought that's where you were going.
A player who concedes the game is permitted to leave the game immediately.
It's a special action, doesn't use the stack anytime.
Not even a special action, because you don't even need priority. Any time, you're allowed to just concede the game and leave the game immediately, and that's an act of self-care. When a prison deck has you locked out as this guy who's drawing 30 cards a turn, has multiple solitudes in his hand can do, you don't need to subject yourself to this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. I feel like Adam is...
There's no combo here that he's going to mess up. You're playing to GRV your opponent out here. But thankfully you're at 5. It's one more turn. I suppose you take a draw step, and if it is your Knight, and then you'll just go Scoop to a Solitude. Because Knight plus Hammer is a winning line, but I don't think he's got it.
Well, we'll see. Oh my goodness. All right. I appreciate the basic line choice here by Adam. Elaine Danner is my favorite Magic artist, and I think she makes some incredible basics.
Now,
Look great.
I know
Doing-
for a fact you hate. I think he's just going for it here, trying to just get these Omnath triggers. I don't know if he has any uncracked fetches.
Solitude.
He can do it again. Oh, but it's in play tapped. But that's 2. So if he can drop an elemental and just get a 3rd land somewhere, there you go.
There you go. Takes down Adam in game 2 there with a commanding board state.
And that's how they draw it up.
There you go. So it's 1-1. These are our players will head into a game 3 here. While we're waiting for our players to shuffle up, let's see what we got for you here. Hey, friends, if you want to play some Magic,
Which I do.
You're looking for some cards to buy, head on over to nerdragegaming.com. We got tons of fantastic product for you there. We got singles, we got sealed product, we got pre-orders for the next set. You got a fantastic loyalty program. Every time you spend money, you save money, you get store credit that you can use immediately to buy a number of different products on our website. And the more you spend, the more you save, up to 10% off every order. It's fantastic. I use it all the time. I buy lots of cards here. Gotta say, it's really bad. I spend a lot of money at this store, but I love Magic. And if you do too, buy some cards. If you're looking to buy product for other games, we also have that. NRG.tcgplayerpro.com has all of our Magic foil selection as well as all of our alt games. Digimon, Pokemon, One Piece. Got a little bit of Flesh and Blood on there. Got a little bit of My Hero. Maybe like a Vanguard card or 2. Check it out. You can select for in-store pickup, and we ship countrywide as well from both our bespoke website and our TCG player page. Try it out today. I'll write a smiley face on your invoice if you mention the stream. Ooh, bonus. Every so often we get like a comment on some of our invoices being like, oh, like I support the series. I love what you guys are doing. Oh, makes my day.
Sure it would.
So sweet. Looks like a mulligan from both of our players there.
So you had commented on Adam's lands. They're your favorite, you said.
Oh, well, they're by my favorite artist. Yeah.
Well, I know that I play your least favorites.
What do you mean?
The no arts.
The no.
Yes.
Do you play the full text?
I do.
That's literally like my least. Yeah, you're right. That's like just like the worst, objectively worst land I've ever seen in my life.
See, the difference here is that you just like to assume what your lands do. I know what my lands do because it explains in painstaking detail on each and every one. And never again am I going to be confused on what a forest is.
Do you identify as a rules lawyer?
No. I never went to rules lawyer school.
Do you have to go to school to be a rules lawyer?
We got to go to school to be a magic judge.
Are you a magic judge?
I try to say so.
I think there's a pretty objective yes or no when it comes
The answer
to
to that
being a
question is
judge.
yes.
Okay.
But also, it's something you, if you stop doing,
Yeah.
you stop being. And I've been playing this game a long time.
Is it like a lifestyle, being a judge?
I'm no longer identified with the judge community.
They would welcome you back. They'd have you back.
Now you gotta. There's so many rules.
There are a lot of rules. I could never be a judge.
No, to be a judge.
Yeah.
On top of the game and the IPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Who needs that hassle in their life?
I agree.
You've got great judges here.
We got an L2 in the store right now. Kai just passed his test, so we got some big brains in the building.
So all the judges in chat, come out, meet your heroes.
A judge just qualified for the Pro Tour. I'll bring it up again. Go Elliot. Level 3. Active level 3. What a guy. Good at Magic and a judge. Usually, I find not the case. Judges don't play a lot of good Magic.
So the reason
Regular
I
Magic
became a
players
judge
don't
is because I
take
played a
this.
lot of decks that were just complicated, and I got tired of just being wrong about what my cards did. So I had to explain it. I'm like,
I refuse to learn what my cards do. I
well,
refuse to learn what my opponent's cards do.
then they can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true. I told a judge once, I was like, yeah, I just assume that my opponent's like playing correctly. Like I don't really check them on stuff. I don't like make sure they're tapping mana correctly. And they were like they were horrified. They were like, what do you mean? That's like that's your job as a Magic player is to make sure your opponent's not cheating. I was like, it's just a
It
game,
is.
dude. I don't care.
It's in the rules. You mess up the thing, you gotta hold your opponent accountable.
Oh yeah, I got yelled at because I was like, yeah, I don't pay attention to day and night cycle, and they were like, actually, it's both players' responsibility to
It
remember
is.
that.
It's awful. That shouldn't be.
Yeah. No, I'm not paying attention to
That's
it.
a miss, Watsy. You heard it. I said it.
Oof.
We're all thinking
Hot
it.
takes. Four Dogs is coming for Watsy.
All right. Is Adam here making a token? I saw him tap. And
There it is.
he's got a
Copy. Not quite
copy
a
of
construct.
what? It could be anything. All right, here's number 3. He's gonna give him a pal. Give him
I
a
really
little
want to
buddy.
dig into my bag right now and get them the token, but I won't. I got more important things to be doing.
The lands are tapped, so I think he's gonna have a copy of his copy,
Interesting. Interesting.
which is a philosophical
There
question.
we go. That's a
Yeah,
little
but he
bit
needs the
better.
second one. What happened to the first?
You put a counter on it. You get 2.
Yeah,
Copy of there it is.
that's legal.
Good stuff.
Getting a hammer,
All right, all right. So representing.
some sort of enabler in his hand. Putting the hammer on the battlefield, the equipment you can't equip says that he probably has the knight, and if he doesn't, then we're all questioning this decision. But we won't.
The card is aid.
No, because the hammer's already on the table.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Unless it's some elaborate plan to bounce the hammer.
Right. Yes, he's playing the new card that we talked about earlier from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he's going to sacrifice his hammer, then bring it back, then equip it.
Oh, big brain plays.
All right, here comes Amnath. Namnath. And Isaac's looking here to start his value train. And just grind Adam into dust with all these cards. But here's
the
knight.
Paladin.
We thought it was out there.
And Alpha Strike. Come at me. What you got?
He's going to chump with Omnath. If I'm Adam, that's probably the best outcome.
That seems really good to me. I'd be terrified of. I mean, if he played the Omnath, maybe that shows that he doesn't have the Solitude. Wait, no, I see a Solitude in his hand.
If his plan here was to chump, I think he would have solituded the knight.
Yeah.
Because then he only needs he doesn't have to worry about that hammer moving around a second time.
Maybe
because that Inkmoth Nexus is lethal, and he could also just be waiting for the Inkmoth. I think I see a Solitude in his hand. He might not have the white card.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm confused why he played the Omnath, because you can pitch the Omnath to the Solitude, right? Maybe he just drew the Solitude.
True, but the Omnath cycles, and he might just be playing the odds here. Or he's also at 5 lands. He's very close to just casting Solitude. So this would be the window if you're going to go for Inkmoth. You can play into Solitude, but then you will get your regular damage through. Because your hammer guy is going to get chumped either way.
Right.
So, but 2 mana, 1.
Another
A Leyline
binding.
Binding. That's a solid answer here.
Yeah.
He's going to hit the Construct.
Seems good. Ooh, Blacksmith skill. Very nice.
Okay.
Love to see it.
Now here comes the Solitude.
Since that's got are we back on Isaac's turn now? Does it no longer have hexproof?
No, it still has hexproof, but it's a flash creature, so he could do it in response. But it looks like he's just using it to hit the
He
knight.
just still wants the paladin there, yeah.
Because he probably doesn't want that Inkmoth getting airborne. Because he would have been dead to it.
a murderous cut from Isaac here. Take care of this pesky little construct.
Did he... So he attempted the binding the hammer? That makes sense to me. Okay. Isaac now has just Hardcast Solitude up now, but he's tapping out of it. Putting Karuga into hand. Last time he did this, it was for a Force of Vigor.
You think he's got it again? We got 2 cards in hand. It does not. It looks like a steam vents.
Well, with 2 cards in hand, he can only represent Solitude. So if I'm Adam and I have the ability to equip somehow, now's the time. But no, just to crash in and animate the Inkmoth. It looks like to get 1 more.
I like it. I like it.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Either he miscounted or I just missed it. That's fine.
Does he have a poison? Should we put the poison?
No. It's did he animate the Inkmoth to have 1 more artifact for the construct?
Oh, I see. To make the construct bigger.
Yeah, I'm assuming Isaac factored that into the initial damage and then went to 4 off the fetch. All right, here's a 5 for Kiruga, the Macro Sage.
I want to make a hippo sound, but I don't think I know what sound a hippo makes.
They make the sound of snap sinew and death when the hippo closes its jaw on your leg and you are 1 short a leg. You have 1 fewer legs than you started this adventure with.
I wanted to make like a moo sound almost. I feel like a hippo is like a water cow.
I would avoid talking trash about an animal that could kill you so easily.
It's not trash. I love cows. I think cows are great creatures.
Cows are food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Besides, water cows are the manatee. We have this covered already.
Oh, that's such a good point. Yeah. Fury comes down there and
draws a card off the hippo. Draws a. Is it a Risen Reef?
Yeah.
Draws a card off the Risen Reef. Does the murderous cut? Gets a guy.
Was it a hard cast murderous cut?
No.
Or like a full.
No, his graveyard's pretty empty now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right. Draws his card.
Draw. I think that was a
Saga
hammer.
to 3. Well, hammers he's got, so that's not. I don't think that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Makes a body. Goes to the deck. What's it gonna be?
Like a shadow spear here to get through the Karuga.
A Shadow Spear, I think, is a solid draw. I mean, I wonder what targets he has. Like a Memnite,
Yeah,
he's
do
probably
you
not
want
gonna
a creature here? Another creature? No. Went past the Shadow Spear there.
I don't know if I want to go all in on this construct, but I don't think I have another choice.
You can't get Esper Sentinel, but you can get, like you said, a Memnite or like an Ornithopter.
That's true. I think he's just surveying his options, but we'll see if he agrees with us. Now he's got himself a Spectator.
It always makes me nervous when people sit over my shoulder.
What about playing on camera when you and your how many closest friends all get to watch?
Honestly, less intimidating because it's not as like in my face, right? When there's literally someone like over your shoulder, you can like see them. When it's like, faceless people on the internet.
As opposed to the cold, unblinking eye of the camera machine, always watching.
I'm a Zoomer. I've lived my entire life on the internet. I'm not afraid of it. Honestly, feel a lot more comfortable on the internet than in real life. Oh, that was a little deep. Moving on. Adam got that Shadow Spear. Like I said, pretty good cards. Got Trample and wow, we got the
and we're getting some fancy arts.
Got Trample and Lifelink.
Well, it's good to know Sauron has his own.
Nice. I still need to watch the Hobbit movies. I just saw like the Lord of the Rings trilogy for the first time last year. I really liked it, obviously.
So
big fan.
There are 2 Hobbit movies.
There's 2?
Peter Jackson, the one you're probably familiar with.
And
the one I'm going to recommend to you.
Oh, okay.
The cartoon.
There's a cartoon?
Yes.
No way.
It is very much uh heavy metal energy,
Really?
like the movie Heavy Metal. It's a very similar and amazing art style.
Wow. Okay. Sure. What are these basics, Adam? They quickly got so out of hand, my man.
Whatever foils you can get your hands on is apparently Adam's choice.
All right, Sigarda's 8 down on the table there for Adam. Animating this ink moth will pump up the construct. Also going to use it as an attacker. Count up some damage here.
Attacking with the ink moth does represent solid,
4,
or represent
5. The construct's a 5/5/6/6 with the spear. We're gonna double block.
and we're gonna try and win with the hammer.
Flashes out the hammer.
And that's it.
Whoa.
Stop. That's hammer time.
Yeah. Incredible games there. Great shot from Adam. Scoops it up in 3 against Isaac and his Elementals deck. Do we have time to see our backup match? No. We're gonna hit you with a quick ad and go to a quick break. If you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to drop a follow. Twitch.tv/NRG Store and NRG Series. We have 2 channels. Go check them out. If you want to see some, let's see, which ad are we doing? Check out our Discord. We got one for the store, one for the series. Come ask us questions. Come get the first announcements for all of our pre-orders and product drops. That is where I post all of our announcements first. Facebook and Twitter come later, so get there first for all of that good stuff. Check out that QR code in the bottom. In addition, we also have our store. You can buy some great cards from it. I pack and pull all those orders, so if you mention the stream, I will put a smiley face on it. And you can also get all your cards real great all over the country. You can also pick them up in store. We have a wish list feature. If you don't see a card on our website, you can add to your wish list and get notified immediately with no requirement to pay for the card as soon as we relist them. We also have a loyalty program. The more you spend, the more you save. Check it out, nerdragegaming.com. We will be right back with round 3. Thank you so much for watching. This has been 4Dogs and Haviva.
All right, see you all soon.
Welcome back, everybody. We're in round 3 of 4 for our weekly Wednesday night modern here in Buffalo Grove, Illinois at the Nerd Rage Gaming storefront. We have a great matchup for you here. Jonathan versus James, 8-Wack versus Rhinos. Now, I've played against both these decks. Actually played against more 8-Wack, curiously, even though I haven't been playing Modern for a long time. How does this matchup look to you?
There's a lot of strong cards on both sides. A 8 power for 3 mana is a lot, but on the other hand, just dropping a Bushwhacker 6 power for 2 mana is also a lot.
Indeed, yeah. Now, is it typical to just suspend a Crashing Footfalls on turn 1? I feel like
it's not uncommon. It's not the play you want to make. You want those in the deck so you can cascade into them, but you got it. It's not like you're going to do anything else on turn 1.
For sure. Do we want to ask James to move the water bottle? He's got a big ol'...
Yeah, you can't do that on Twitch anymore.
Excuse me, branded policy. Excuse everyone, just so you know, we are not sponsored by Smart Water. Apologies. Oh, goodness.
But we
or
could
Carhartt,
be.
Or
I
Disney.
am for sale.
Oh, goodness. I will sell out.
At low prices.
All
right.
Got a Pyrite Spellbomb here on the field for Jonathan. What's this creature he's got?
I want to say those are 3 tokens.
For sure. Okay.
Because while it's called 8-Whack, nowadays it's not about the whack, it's about the rebirths. It's about putting in all these 1/1s really fast. And so while it used to be you were using Goblins for this, with 1 Kuldotha Rebirth, you now have a 2nd Kuldotha Rebirth effect, which is just more ways to put 3 power into play for 1 mana. And across 3 bodies, which scales well when you play cards like Goblin Bushwhacker.
Sure.
Or the Surge cost Goblin Bushwhacker.
All right, so we have 2 suspended footfalls here for James. Was it so 6 goblins for Jonathan here, if I'm
Right, 6 goblins,
Understanding
and
these
if he
tokens.
plays a bushwhacker, you're looking at 12 points, which is not where a person at 14 wants to be.
Right. Yeah. Can we get Bushwhack up real quick just so our friends at home can get an eyeful of this card?
It's right there on the table. It's a 1/1 kicker 1, and when it comes into play with the kicker, you get an additional point of power to your entire team and haste.
Ah, okay. So I'm more familiar with Reckless Bushwhacker.
Right, the one with
Apologies.
Surge.
That's what you were saying before. I see. Yeah.
So this is the original one from the original Zendikar, and so here he is. All my guys have 2 power. What are you going to do about it?
Oh, I see. I thought all of Jonathan's cards were like really worn around the corners. That's his sleeves, I guess. Doing that. Are they like inners, like special inners or something? Alrighty, that is a violent outburst.
So 2 of these are not long for this world, but you're still going to come across for you had 14 and now you're going to lose 4 of that 10. You go to 3, that's Bolt.
Yeah.
But you only have a few. If you're Jonathan, you only have a few turns to find it because you're about to take 8 back.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you got to hold some. I guess you can't attack because then you just die to your own crackback. But that's the thing. There's an interesting chess match here, and whatever it is, it'll be over quick.
Indeed. Yeah.
This is not Storm versus Murktide.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward game plans for both of these players here. Play creatures, turn them sideways, kill your opponent. Next round.
Especially on AWEC, you don't really have much of a plan B.
Right, yeah.
The Rhinos, you've got a lot of other cards in the deck.
A little bit more utility to them.
But I see a Goblin Grenade in his hand, GG's.
What does that do?
Sacrifice a Goblin, 5 damage to any target.
Oh, to your face.
For 1.
And just throws it on the table. Get out of here, dude.
Why pay 1 mana for 3 damage when you can do it for 5?
Indeed. All right, quick game 1 there for Jonathan. Beats down James's Rhino deck in, what was that, 3 turns?
That was turn 3. I saw 3 lands, 2 for the Bushwhacker, 1 for the grenade.
Right, he won on the next turn though, so it was technically.
No, I don't think he. I thought he played his Bushwhacker.
Yeah, so he played Bushwhacker on turn 3, went to James.
Right, that's 2 mana.
Oh, James did the.
He did the thing in combat
he did
to
the
block.
violent outburst on Jonathan's turn. My bad. Yes, of course. Alrighty, cool. Players are gonna sideboard here. Let's take a look at our upcoming NRG series event. Hey friends, come play some Magic. We got a fantastic couple of events. We're giving out more than $15,000 in prize money the weekend of June 24th and 5th, right in Munzaline, Illinois, just outside the city of Chicago, about 15 minutes from our storefront here in Buffalo Grove. On Saturday, we got 10K Modern Showdown. Winner of that automatically qualifies for our championship invitational in January, as well as receives a qualification to the next regional championship and a specialized token from Inkland Customs. Sunday is our 5K Legacy Trial. Winner of that also goes to the RC and racks up a bunch of NRG points, which can also help qualify you for our championship series. So come on out for that. We got plenty of side events, artists, and a cosplayer. You want to take a picture with Elish Norn or the Witch King from Lord of the Rings? Come on down and check us out June 24th and 5th. Let's get back to the action here. Players are shuffling up and grabbing their first 7.
All right, let's see what we have here today. Now, for sideboarding, I'm not sure what either deck would do. A lot of the cards that you would bring in here are cards that are also good against yourself. Your Ratchet Bombs, your Engineered Explosives, your Ley Lines of Singularity.
I don't know that one.
No one does. It's okay.
Okay.
But I'm thinking if I'm James, maybe I bring in some counter magic, maybe a force or 2.
Yeah, what's he holding up here with this mana? A counter or a kill spell?
We'll find out. Probably a counter. I see him reaching for it for that rebirth effect.
Let's get Rebirth up on the screen real quick. What's the full name of that card?
It's either Kuldotha Rebirth, and I forget the name of the new one, but the new one can target your opponent's cards.
I think it's Kul. K-U-L? Yeah, Rebirth.
So this is the original one. You're playing now 2 of these effects for 8 copies. The new copy one can target an opposing artifact, but it won't give them tokens.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, so now there's Gleeful Demolition
That's the one.
in that Boris Kavok deck we were talking about off camera.
Yes, and it's the same style. And the 2 decks, I want to say, share an origin in that this 8 whack is probably both their grandfather, and then the first child is this 8 rebirth in modern, and then ported to Convoke would be and then its sibling is the one in
It's
Pioneer.
quite the family tree there.
A pedigree of efficient commons. And anytime the blue player tells you to back up, your smile is about to be turned upside down. Sure enough, boing.
Doesn't I was waiting for the Brazen Bar to swoop in and giggle at me.
Thank Morrow that's not a real thing. I can't imagine some fake Magic client where such an event would happen.
I am going to bring a soundboard next time I play Magic, and I'm gonna just have effects every time I play a card against you.
I'm calling a judge. 2 judges.
Judge, I feel unsafe. Please. All right, Shardless Agent will cascade, of course, into a Footfalls.
Now, I have 8. I have 10 power, and you have 1. Your move.
Here we go. That's a Goblin. What's that card?
Goblin Grenade.
It is Goblin Grenade. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
but an Eidolon.
Little late. That's a solid card I would say in the.
Is it? I was curious. What cards does it hit? Because James.
Well, it hits Crashing Footfalls. It hits the front
yeah.
half of Brazen Bower. It hits the counter spell he used the first time. Hits a lot of things.
It also hits so many of Jonathan's cards.
It does, but this is a race. This is a full-on race. Your life total only needs to be 1 point higher than theirs.
Right.
And I think he's learning in real time that this card is trample. And understands that he's lost and does not even ask to take it back.
Oh, wow. All right, drew a land for turn.
Yeah, because
able to do anything there.
At 11 with the creatures tapped, it doesn't matter if he takes 6, he could still create a winning board state from that position.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like he's going to, and we're just going to go to game 3. Easy peasy.
Yeah, looks like we'll probably get a chance to catch our backup match here for the first time, folks. So keep an eye out. We still have 1 game, of course. We're at 1-1 between Jonathan and James here.
So we have ourselves a hyper quick matchup that's play draw dependent. So as a Pioneer player, I'm sure you are right at home.
Wow. Yeah. I've been hearing people say a lot like, oh, so play draw dependent, so play draw dependent, and I really didn't internalize that until I had played the format a little bit longer. I guess some people just understand stuff like that a lot quicker than I do. But yeah, it's it kind of sucks, but I like it. I like the swinging nature of Pioneer. I like how the tables turn quickly, and this matchup for sure has a lot of hot top decks. We'll see a lot of exciting action here.
And not just because it's all red cards.
Right. There are a couple of other colors in James's deck.
True, but the red cards are statistically the hottest.
What do you think the temperature of... Never mind. Not even a question.
Blue cards statistically are the coldest, obviously.
Yeah, you don't think it's like the white ones, like snow is white?
Well, they're all snow covered.
Not in this matchup.
But when it comes to frost spells, like I go with my blue cards, followed then by green because I've been playing the game too long.
What is the temperature of fire and ice?
Well, you combine both halves, so it's really just null.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It has the combined characteristics.
Alright. James is taking a mulligan here. Jonathan's working with a full grip. Does Rhinos mulligan well? I feel like it doesn't.
When it was at 80 cards, I presumed it mulliganed less.
It was at 80 cards?
Yeah.
Did they play Yorion?
It was. Yorion, your Rhinos.
Your Rhino? Oh, I remember that. Yeah. That was great.
Count it. Was the deck, but now it's down to 60. It's still very good, but I'm told it's boring. That players just don't like playing it.
Yeah, so you see, I don't get when people are like, "Oh, I hate this deck. It's boring." Because you can just play another deck.
Yeah, but the round lasts 60 minutes, whether I win in 5 or 50.
Eh,
So you got to hit a sweet spot. You can't have the game over too fast where you're just sitting on your hands for 50
I want to
minutes.
Coco on turn 3 every time. What is wrong with that? I want to kill my opponent every single turn, and I enjoy that. Sitting there makes me bored. So I like these.
Yeah, but what happens when the game ends? The round doesn't end. You don't determine when the round ends.
Yeah, you can play Magic.
What is
Like,
this 8-whack player going to do the moment he whacks James 8 times?
he's going to grab something from the vending machine
You
and
hope.
talk about. As a store employee, yes, we do profit from the vending machine. However, you get time to like take care of yourself. Playing four straight hours of Magic sucks. I
You
want
just told me that you wanted to play more Magic.
well,
And now you're telling me that this guy's going to win and stop playing Magic.
okay, never mind. Let's rewind. I have a short attention span. I can't play Magic that much. I don't want to sit there and watch someone else play Magic. I want to play Magic. I don't want to watch someone else play Magic. So I want to do my things. And then when I'm done, I can go do other things.
All right.
There you go.
So he's got the bodies, and he's got a second spell bomb.
I think that land James has is worth like Jonathan's entire deck. I feel like AWAC's a very cheap deck.
Those foil spell bombs are. I'll save that.
If they're original printing, because those were reprinted in Double Masters.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, then who cares?
Yeah.
All right, what about that foil? Is that one of them oil slick mountains?
No, it is not. I don't believe so.
Kaldheim?
What?
The mountain.
The mountain?
I know one of them is the Japanese
Oh,
Kamigawa.
no, those are Phyrexia on the right there, and then the Kamigawa full art. Yeah. James is down to 9 with the pain land there.
But he's about to 10 power on the table.
Yeah, and Jonathan's got no creatures here. There it is. You should whiteboard them so that they're easier to find.
If it was a search, I would probably do that, but it's not. You have to reveal them anyways.
Yeah, fair.
James over here, single-handedly bringing back the rhino population to the local area.
Oh, thank goodness. Need some good biodiversity. Is every basic land you play in the Midwest of Plains?
No. What?
Because we're in the flatlands. So like
Yeah, but I'm not a local guy. I'm from all over. I go to Texas so I can get my oil slick lands. Then I go out. I spent some time in California so I can get me some mountains.
Oh my goodness.
And have you seen my room? That's where I get the swamps.
No, it's Florida. It's Florida.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that.
No, Bryce got words to say.
Well, you left
Oh,
your
boy.
state and they have not fared well without you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what it was. When Bryce left, Florida really went to.
I will say though that the hockey game was amazing watching 88 penalty minutes get racked up as like 9 players got themselves ejected.
Oh my goodness. I'm so I have never been able to bring up sports in a Magic store before. I've never been the second person, excuse me. I'm always the first. I can't believe you beat me to it. Are you watching the finals?
I am. Not now, obviously.
Well, yeah. No, there's been some great hockey happening. In case you guys don't know, the Stanley Cup Finals are going on. It is the Florida Panthers versus the Vegas Golden Knights.
Vegas
correct?
Golden Knights. The Knights have only been in the league for 5 years, and this is their second appearance in the finals.
Indeed.
It's actually very impressive.
I agree. It's so interesting.
They are expansion teams, so expansion teams historically in every league suck. But
Well, yeah.
Vegas got to just embarrass the entire league with the expansion draft. A
Mhm.
team of cast-offs, 7 of which are still on the team 5 years later, and this is their second cup appearance.
Wow.
So if I'm a GM in this league, I'm defending my job.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, let's get. All right. What do you?
You will have plenty of time after this match, which will be over soon enough.
Right.
Two mana has been tapped. The thoughts are running through Jonathan Bernardi's head. What do you do?
Do you take the blue pill?
The rope has appeared on the screen.
That's the one thing I hate about Arena. I'll take that. That's the one thing. It stresses me out.
If only there was a client with some sort of chess clock.
No, there's a chess clock in Arena too.
There's not. There's the rope. All right. He has. What is this? I have no idea what this is. I have a feeling. Oh, the
Let's see if Bryce can.
cemetery gate something. So anytime he casts a sorcery, he's gonna take 2.
Cemetery gate. No, that's
not cemetery gate, but
oh, we're just gonna go through all the cemetery cards.
It's a red vampire cemetery gate.
There is a chess clock. Thank you. Yeah, in best of 3, there's a chess clock. Which one is it?
I can't imagine playing 3 games on Arena. Yeah, cemetery gate something.
There we go.
Yeah, and every time he plays a sorcery, he's gonna take 2 damage.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like an Eidolon?
Sort of. It's more like a forbidden word of the day calendar.
I don't know what that is.
He plays it, he gets a card type out of James's graveyard, and then anytime he plays something of that type, he takes 2.
Oh, okay.
Pee-wee Playhouse. Oh, use some sorcery! 2 damage. It was one of the many overhyped cards from VOW.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Apologies to all the speculators out there. Took a bath on that one.
All right, there's an Eidolon. Yeah, all right. There we go.
Well,
seems
all right.
better there.
Yeah. Nah, just take the 2. Who cares? I mean, you're still looking pretty dead.
Yeah, he was like hoping to get the bushwhack. You can't even get the bushwhack there. Oh. Trample over, kill you.
Yep.
Well, no, he's got a flyer.
He's got 3 in the air.
I don't even know.
+4 on the trample body. I don't know. He's locked out of the game by his own Eidolon. There's nothing he can do to answer this. I guess he could somehow create mana and channel.
I mean, he's completely hellbent.
The only way out of this is somehow channeling resounding silence.
There is.
And that's game.
The end of that game in favor of James. The Rhino players takes down the 8-whack. We're gonna head on over to our backup match. Are we gonna go there live, or we're gonna do a quick? Okay.
Live.
Awesome. We're gonna tune in live to them. We got Kai playing creativity and Sam on hammer. We're getting right in at the beginning of this game. Fantastic. In game 3.
Are we putting hammer in quotes? Is that what I saw? All right. We're getting word from the people on the ground that this might not be your stock hammer list.
Eye in the sky, feet on the ground. Sam came up with us to play in Minneapolis. I don't know how he did there, but he's been grinding the series a bit. Been coming to the store a bunch. He's part of the Kenosha crew that comes down and hangs at the store a bunch. Love having him.
Oh, the Kenosha Kickers.
Sure. Is that what they call them?
You watch any Home Alone?
I mean, I've seen Home Alone.
Don't worry about it.
Oh goodness.
Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. All right.
Yo.
What's this card?
We got that's a Stoneforge Mystic.
Oh, it's a secret lair.
No, that's the Grand Prix promo.
Oh, Grand Prix. I just saw the shooting star. Sorry.
Yeah, shooting star.
Oh, isn't there like something special about that? There's like a super rare printing of that Grand Prix promo. I feel like Dakota mentioned that to me once. Maybe it's like there's like a judge version or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, a second Stoneforge. Let's get it mystical.
Got a hammer there.
Stoneforge mystical.
Creativity doesn't have a lot of interaction in the early turns, right?
No. Much like this matchup is going to play a lot like the Murktide Storm one we did
Mm-hmm.
earlier, but this time, instead of playing a bunch of bird lawyers, Kai just has a combo I win button.
Right.
He's going to throw down some roadblocks. He can grind, not
Mm-hmm.
as, but he doesn't really have much for resolving a resolved hammer. It's
Mm-hmm.
not game 1. Game 2, he's a red deck. They'll figure it out.
Sure.
Red deck versus artifacts. We'll figure it out.
So I've been playing against creativity a bit in Pioneer. They play like there's the Gear Hulk version, the World Spine Worm version. What does creativity get out in Modern? It's Archon of Cruelty,
It's
right?
Archon of Cruelty, almost certainly game 1. Some creativity pilots are going to split that 3-1 with their choice of whatever they've convinced themselves is better in the moment.
Yeah. What are some
that
of the
can
top
be
picks?
the other reanimation target that came in Modern Horizons 2, the Emissary. I'm going to say Sarah's Emissary.
Oh,
It comes into
sure.
play.
Yeah.
You name as it comes to play, you name a card type, and you have protection from that type.
Mm.
They will swear that shuts down certain decks.
That
but
card has definitely killed me, but also
yeah,
I
but
think
so
an
does
Archon would have.
so does an Archon.
Yeah.
There's Elshnorn, the -2/2 version.
Grand Cenobite, yeah.
Yep. And then there's Elshnorn, the trigger version, because when you go
Other
X is
versions.
2, and if you hit the Elshnorn plus an Archon, it's like hitting 2 Archons anyways.
Whoa. But yeah, just get a second arc. Okay.
True, but the Elshnorn plays better on defense.
Sure, yeah.
I have a feeling a few creativity players have lost with an Archon on the table, and they are trying to find ways to never have that happen again.
All right, Sam's got pretty big
It's hammer time. I assume. Oh,
it is survivable. It's terrifying, but is survivable.
it is. But
See what it
now,
does.
creativity player is in trouble here because one Archon is not going to be enough.
Yeah.
And you can't not do it because there's a whole lot of power about to punch you in the face.
Discards the dwarf in mine, so I assume he's got something. Oh. Maybe he's got a sec, because the dwarf of mine is the land play here, right? Because it makes the dwarf.
The
Or
dwarf,
whatever it makes.
if you have a second land in your hand, discarding the mine is fine because the second land statistically is probably a fetch land, which is a dwarven mine anyways.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
But this life total, maybe you don't bother. He needs at least 2 bodies to hit the table, and whether or not he's going to manage to do that is going to determine whether or not we go straight to game 3, because I see we're tied at 1. So
Straight to game. We are in game 3. This is game 3.
well, then we'll just go to the next round. We don't even have to suffer through another game. So, second dwarven mine.
He did have the second dwarf.
The land's so nice, he played it twice.
I love these tokens he's got.
Got a nice, bright, shiny token. But I have a feeling that token's not long for this world. That he'd much rather have something better.
Yeah, is it worth putting like time and effort to getting really nice tokens for creativity when the whole purpose of creativity?
Well, they might scoop to the creativity, so you need something for them to see before they just pick it up.
For sure. All right.
But the answer is nothing. I think he's just gonna make him go
He's
through
got
the
spot
motions.
removal.
He
No,
needs 2.
Well, he's got a blocker.
Well, no, because the Sigarda's aid.
Oh, he's got the Stoneforge Mystic up. Oh no, well, it doesn't matter. You got Sigarda's aid, yeah.
Well, he also has Steel Shaper's Gift. He could have got the Shadow Spear there and then just made this block irrelevant. But he's got a... Kai obviously has a plan where we would just be moving on.
I see a Surge in Sam's hand, though.
Surge is a good way to stop the initial Archon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it with this flipped Kiki Jiki. Oh, well, the Kiki Jiki will have Summoning Sickness, so who cares? I don't know, but I'm feeling the anxiety here. What has he got?
Okay.
Come on, do some... Oh, Wear Tear!
All right. That brings that Mystic down to just a single point of damage.
But we're going to
he's
say
got
no to that.
The Surge.
Give it hexproof. This is game 3, so he might have a counter. His face does not say he does, though. He's exchanging words. It's over!
All right, I don't know what he was sitting on there, but that'll be Sam for the win in game 3 there against Kai and his creativity deck. We had a quick few games there.
Well, we just showed up late. We don't know how long. Well, we do know how long because we played the other ones.
I mean, yeah, all right.
All right, but that just gives our viewers at home more time to enjoy these beautiful ads from the ad dimension.
Yeah. Hey, friends. If you're looking to play some Magic yourself at our store, check out our weekly schedule right here. We got plenty of Magic for you. We got Commander, Pioneer, Modern, and FNM Legacy, as well as drafts going on Fridays. So come check out all that. If you're interested in picking up other games or you're ready to play those games, we got Digimon, we got One Piece, and we have Pokemon. All 4 of these games have releases this month. Come check out one of them. We have so much product to put into your hands and for you to enjoy. In other news, if you're looking to pick up some Magic singles, head on over to nerdragegaming.com. We are listing more cards every day. If you don't see a card you need, put it on your wish list and get notified immediately with no obligation to pay for that. Just letting you know, hey, we have this card now, you can buy it. The more money you spend on our site, the more you save. We have a great loyalty program as well. We also have a TCG Player Pro page, nrg.tcgplayerpro.com. Check out all of our Magic foils there, as well as all of our alt-game inventory. If you're looking to stay up to date with what's going on at the store and the series, check out our Discord. We have both for the series and for the store. Check out that QR code there and get all your questions answered and hear the first drops of any announcements that we have to make there. That's where all of our pre-order announcements go first. That's where all of our product drops happen. When we list new cards, we tell everyone there first. And then if you're hearing me talk about the series and you don't know what it is, the Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series has its next event on June 24th and 25th. Come collect your share of over $15,000 and qualify for our championship event in January or the regional championship. Where are they next? Atlanta?
I'm going off to Atlanta.
Going back to Atlanta?
I got to win first.
Right, yeah. So come check it out. If you don't want to play in our main event, we have a ton of side events. We got a command zone. We have oversized cards for you to win. We have cosplayers for you to meet, artists to sign, and make new art for you.
Not just oversized. These are mega oversized because I have oversized cards, and these are much larger.
Like the Commander Precon oversized cards? Yeah, these are hefty boys. We will be right back with round 4, though. Thank you so much for watching. Hey everybody, we got a quick one for you here in round 4 of 4 for our weekly Wednesday Night Modern here at Buffalo Grove, Illinois, Nerd Rage Gaming Store. Welcome back. We got Brian versus Nathan, Tyvar Goblins versus Belcher.
Now our 3-0s must have drawn, right?
Yes, I believe they did.
So we get this matchup, a little piece of candy for the viewers at home. Some sweets before dinner, some Tyvar Goblins, and Belcher.
It's a late dinner.
Well, we don't know where they are. They could be anywhere in the world.
Sure. I like to eat my dinners late, actually.
I hear we're very big in Japan.
Really? Welcome, streamers from all walks of life. We got a good one for you here. I don't know what Tyvar Goblins means. I know Tyvar does stuff with little creatures.
Well, you know goblins.
Yes.
Imagine if they had found an elf that they're willing to partner with, and this elf is Tyvar. He can Jubilant Brawlers, the new one from the
Phyrexia.
One.
From one.
So basically, your goblins all have haste. Functional for their abilities, they can tap and do haste these things. Not really all that relevant, but the -2 brings back a goblin from your graveyard of 2 or less, like Conspicuous Snoop.
Oh, okay.
Now that's a goblin you want to have haste when it's actually a Kiki Jiki.
Oh, I get it now. All right, sick. This is fun. So Is Belcher a combo?
Belcher is 100% a
So
combo.
they're so two combo decks here.
That's
All
correct.
right.
But while the Goblin deck has an aggro game plan they can play, the Belcher deck has only this combo, and if they do not play it, they're in a lot of trouble.
All right.
Back in the day, we used to call our Belcher decks by how many lands were in them. 2-land Belcher, 1-land Belcher. And you would play land grant to, or there was a...
Oh, right. I remember what Belcher is now. I was just pretending that I knew what it was. It's the thing that like flips your whole deck until you hit a mountain.
That's correct. You pay 3 mana, you tap your Goblin Char Belcher, and then you turn your deck upside down. You say, take this many. And your opponent then says, okay, next game.
Yeah.
Or they cast Force of Will, and we move on to the next game either way. So they're recrossing the paths. He's wasting his time.
His head is already on his hand. He's like, all right, let's get this over with.
Recross the paths, old mechanic clash. Basically, you and your opponent reveal the top card of your library, and whoever has the highest converted mana cost wins. But recross the paths here says reveal cards till you hit a land. Remember how we rate our Belcher decks by their land counts?
Mm-hmm.
This is no land Belcher, so I'm going to reveal the whole deck and put it back in any order. For sanity, though, he'll probably only stack the top 10 or so cards for everyone's sake.
That's so cool.
So he basically gets to arrange his deck any way he wants. And the Goblins player now has 2 mana and 1 turn to figure this out.
Yes.
And game 1, I don't think he can.
Yeah, I think Brian's just going to try and gain as much information here before Nathan.
No, he just wants to know the configuration of the deck. He wants to see if he has the backup combo mainboarded.
So Brian got to look at his whole deck there.
He did, because you have to reveal till you hit a land. So he has to reveal the remaining 52 cards in the deck. And it says blah, blah, blah. I'm going to pick my favorite 7. I know you can't do anything because you're not a scam deck. What do you... Yeah, thought sees me in my draw step. Move on.
And it's so funny because Brian usually plays a, like, is it, spells matter, lots of interaction kind of deck. And today he's playing...
I hope you don't have interaction.
Yeah.
With the deck. So he's setting up he's only setting up 8. The first one's going to be Reforged the Soul, which is a Wheel of Fortune effect that has...
Miracle.
Correct.
I know that one. It's
correct.
In my EDH deck.
Well, here's its competitive pal. So he's going to draw the Reforged the Soul first. That's going to be his first draw for the turn. And then he's going to draw the perfect 7 he needs to combo off.
I see. So
And all these cards are tucked safely on top of the deck, so it's going to require a lot here from Brian to not just die.
What if you...
Stifle? Reroute? Reroute would be in color, and I would love for Tyvar Goblins to play a reroute right here. Reroute, of course, is the change the target of target activated ability with a single target. How about you, Belcher, your face?
Whoa!
And the insult to the injury is it draws a card.
That's incredible. 300 years of practice thwarted by an instant of mischief. Well said. There's no way he's got that card right.
It's very unlikely. I'd put the odds near 0.
That'd be so cool, though.
Considering he's cast a Runeveld Hordemaster, I severely doubt he's on...
That's not a Runeveld Hordemaster.
Isn't it?
That's the wrong... No, I know the art.
That's the new Lord.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the DMU one. That's a different card. Runeveld, right?
It's the new 2-mana Goblin Lord, right?
I don't think. Yeah, it's impossible to spell. It's okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it is the DMU card. Okay. I just know the other art for it. My bad.
I didn't know there was another art.
I assume it's like from the collector box or something. That's why I see it so often.
Yeah, they all got so many arts these days. All right, so he plays a card, blah, blah, blah. Go through the motions. Oh, Pact of the Titans so that he can sacrifice it to Infernal Plunge, make 3 red mana. Cast a series of rituals to go up to 7 mana, because that's the magic number. Say blah, blah, blah. Go up to 4 mana, and then he's going to play Ironcrag, because he has no imagination. I'll make exactly 7 mana, play Goblin Charbelcher, activate Goblin Charbelcher, deck upside down. Your life total is this.
All right.
Negative this.
And I think it's good. Like we said earlier, make them play it out. Just show that you have basic competency with your deck. With Belcher, it's very fast.
Yes, with Belcher, the fail rate on your combo, it's a you problem. If you mess up your combo with Belcher, usually it's a you problem. There are complicated lines that are out there, especially when you start having to factor in forces of negation into your piles. When you have to start playing around counter magic, do you put the miracle second from the top because you know your opponent can't just do nothing forever? So they do. But game one, it's you lose. I'm gonna ask if you have force, and then you lose.
So, yeah, while we're waiting for our players to shuffle up here, let's take a quick look at an ad. Hey guys, are you looking for a new game to play? A
I
hot
am.
game that hasn't been around for a long time, like Magic, that's got a bunch of people super eager to play, great community, and cheap singles.
What game could you possibly be talking about?
I'm talking about One Piece. You ever heard of anime? This show's great. And it's got a card game. Do you need to watch the show to play the game? No, but if you watch the show, I bet it's a lot funner.
Do I need to read the manga?
You don't, but you can. This show has so much content for you, and it's also got a card game. And we stock all that product and more at nerdridgegaming.com. Come check us out, buy some product, pick it up in store, or get it shipped countrywide. We got OP03 Pillars of Strength dropping later this month, and we already have pre-orders up for the next starter deck, Starter Deck 7, Big Mom Pirates. Big Mom Pirates? Yes. That is indeed the name of their squad. It's fantastic. Check it out now. How'd I do? I think that was a rough ad read for me. I'll get better.
No, I can't find any problems from my chair.
All right, I appreciate it. Maybe you're farsighted.
Well, I was looking at the screen, not you. So I don't know if you had the correct posture while you were performing the ad read.
Oh, it's important even behind the camera to act like you're in front of it.
No, that's why God invented ibuprofen.
God invented ibuprofen?
Yeah, I'm sure God did it somewhere.
Oh, dude. I love on the fourth day when God created.
Why do you think God needed a whole day of rest? You know how big
I spent the whole day thinking about how to make ibuprofen.
Do you know how big a deity-sized bottle of Advil must be?
Oh my goodness. They probably don't use milligrams, right? They probably prescribe in like.
Well, it's milligods.
Milligods. Wow. All right, players are shuffling up here to grab their starting sevens. I assume Brian will be on the play here as he lost game one to Nathan.
So I'm not too familiar with Goblin sideboards. Thinking what he could have, he might have some Thought Seizes.
He's obviously doing the reroute, right?
It's in color. We can only hope that he's smart enough to board in his reroutes here. But Nathan in games 2 and 3 might see that coming. Not obviously not saw it coming because that's a foretell spell.
Blue card, yeah.
But he would. There is backup combos where you basically the Pyromancer's Ascension combo where he's going to just put cards in his graveyard and somehow recast them over and over again. I've never had the patience to figure out what the backup combo was. They don't board it in against me, thankfully, and I never have to learn. But Brian's going to have 3 turns roughly to either kill Nathan or find an answer for Goblin Charbelcher.
Assuming he has something like a Thought Seize, you said, for some hands.
He might have some discard effects. I know they have Fury in their sideboards. I don't think they've gone so far as to play Grief. It seems unlikely given their low black density, the density of black cards.
Sure, yeah. The Tyvar is like a bit.
It's also possible he just has no plan and he's just going to hope he can do it in 3. Belcher, on the other hand, you can have some more counter magic if you really need it. You might have a ley line, but if I'm Belcher, I don't think I sideboarded. I don't think either party here sideboarded unless they have 1 or 2 cards explicitly for this matchup. Which, as Belcher's fallen out of the meta, I don't think I would carry 1 or 2 explicitly for it. you used to see people on a whole host of answers, like deflecting palm.
Oh, sure. I know that one.
Yeah.
I
Unlike
don't.
reroute, that one works against hammer.
Oh, very cool.
So percentage points.
Sorry, I don't know it. I know the art. I see it. I sell a lot of copies.
That art
I
is
don't know what that
gross.
text box says.
That art is, I just looking at it causes me pain.
Yeah, I would say um I'm a lot better at commentating purely because I know uh card arts from like, handling so many magic cards a day. It's actually like been very useful towards being a good commentator. It's just like card recognition.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know what the cards do, but I know what they
What?
are. I
And
recognize those weird cards like that
here's
good
the
players don't
Thoughtseize.
recognize. All right. I see that's not big score. It's the thing that
It is the Strike It Rich.
Strike It Rich.
Make a
That's the one.
treasure. We got a Strike It Rich. We got a ritual. A land that you can Thoughtseize, because the part about running no lands is that your lands are all discardable.
Mm.
So but that wouldn't work here. I don't know what color the land is.
All
Too
right,
much
so
glare.
he chooses the Goblin Char
Goes with the
Belcher.
titular Goblin Char Belcher.
Seems good.
But Nathan just draws a Recross the Paths. Thoughtseize, ladies and gentlemen, is bugged, whether you're playing it in paper or online. Every time. Paying 3 life.
It's the backside of Turn Timber Symbiosis there.
That's correct. Ooh. Right into a ritual. Into a Strike It Rich. Ooh, this is not good, because that'll give him the green mana to recross the paths.
Oh.
And now let's set her up. I still have no lands in my deck.
Well, Brian should and will
What did
take
you
a look at it here. See what'd you change? What's different?
What did you bring in for the next game? And can I beat it? I'm gonna go no.
Bryce sees a Noxious somewhere in there.
Yes.
And Brian just shaking his head. There's really just
No, this is
inevitable.
aggro decks already have bad combo matchups,
Uh-huh.
and one that's not even going to pretend to interact with you is even worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very upfront with what it's doing. It says, hey, if you can beat me, good for you.
Right.
If you can't,
either you're a
go home.
control deck and you can stop me pretty easily, or you're not, and this game is over.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming. Don't exit through the gift shop.
I'm curious to see what else Nathan played against here, to see who he dropped a game from.
Murktide wouldn't surprise me.
He lost to the 8-Wack.
That is a deck that is faster than you.
Wow, there you go.
I do know that when I play against Belcher, the zombie deck does have draws that are faster than Belcher.
Oh, yeah? Is zombies that fast?
It can be.
Wow.
Dreadhorde Butcher, if left alone, ends games really quick. But most decks in Modern can answer a 1/1.
Brian's a champ. He's hanging in here when he knows there's really no point. He's doing it for the content. We appreciate him.
I've had that face many times. We've all been there. When you just get hit with a combo deck and you had no plan for it.
Yep. Just wanted to play some good games of Magic.
You spent all morning tuning for the LGS with your Tyvar Goblins. You saw Spike playing it 2 weeks ago, and you said to yourself, that is kick ass. And now you come here. It's the end of the night. You need one win to get your money back for the tournament. Your opponent just sits down and says, Turn Timber Symbiosis into Goblin Char Belcher. And you're already looking up the wait time at Portillo's.
You can look up the wait time at Portillo's?
Yes.
Is that a thing? Like, just... That's incredible. Oh my god, that's actually so exciting.
We're living in the future.
Wait, what the heck? You can just see how long it is to, like, get something? I usually just figure it out by going there.
Yeah,
waiting.
that's an easy method to figure it out. And based on our proximity, you could probably just look out the window.
I know, right? I was about to say it's very close by, and if it's the line's 2A, I can just come back to the store.
Alright, I'll go get my cards.
Ooh, there is a good taco place that stays open until like 2 a.m. right by here.
I'm not staying here till 2 a.m.
I stayed here until 4 a.m. on Monday. Do not recommend. Don't play games that late, friends.
Do they pay you that late?
No, I was here on my own time. We were playing DC Deck Builder. And we decided to play a second game that went like 4.5. No.
So
it went like 5.5 hours long.
I like DC Deck Builder.
I can't figure out if I like it or not.
Just grab everything that says draw a card. That's how I play these.
That's what Bryce plays. That's what Bryce plays.
My friends have not.
Every cantrip.
Every time I play a deck builder game, that's my strategy. Is I take everything that says draw a card, and my friends have not figured out that there's a reason why I always win.
Yeah, it turns out card advantage in most games is good. Yeah. Yeah, that game. Well, it depends. So like, there's so many expansions of it. You can really curate the play experience that you want to.
I like it because it's co-op.
What happened? we're chatting. We're just waiting for Nathan to go through the motions here.
Now I really hope Brian has something because.
You think he does? You think he's just like, come on, like let me blow you out the water here?
It's game 2. You either have an answer here or you don't. Like, this is a self-care concession. You don't need to make him go through the motions. It's the last match of the night. This is between you and going home.
Yeah.
Like, you can just go home and get yourself a late night snack.
So you really think? All right, you really think he's got something?
It's a work night. Please.
It is.
I hope he has something.
He's got a baby at home. Like, he needs to.
Oh, no, stay here. I take it back. This is for sleep time.
Baby Tepper, don't listen. Dad loves you. Well, if y'all are enjoying the content, need I remind you, because you've already done it, of course, is hit the follow button. That's how we know that you're enjoying what we're doing, and that gives us reason to keep doing it. If you're looking for even more magic, head on over to twitch.tv/NRG series. Follow us there. We run a tournament series throughout the Midwest. We'll be streaming there in just about 2 weeks. We'll have fantastic content for you, with people much better at commentary and much more knowledgeable about Magic than me.
What? I won't be there.
You'll be playing. You got important stuff to do. You'll be kicking butt as well. I will be standing behind a counter selling Magic cards, which apparently I'm pretty good at. I've been told.
All right. He's.
All right, we're almost there. Finally resolving.
All right.
Is it Turn Timber Symbiosis?
Which he's gonna put on the bottom. Why? All right, gotta conceal info, but so you can recross again, I guess. Yeah. Save the technical plays for game 3.
So explain to me what Nathan did there.
So recross the paths stacks your deck, and then it says clash.
So he purposely put the land on top?
Because clash says if you have a higher converted mana cost, you win the clash, and then a thing happens. Oh
my god, he got it.
He might have it.
Oh my god, he has it.
He's untapping. He needs, if he has the 3-drop in his, if he does, yes. So he can go off and make infinite tapped snoops here.
Uh-huh.
If he has if there's a Mog Fanatic underneath that Kiki Jiki,
yeah,
he can go off. What are you doing? What are you doing?
What?
No! Stop! Go back!
Brian, no!
No!
Brian!
Oh no, what are you doing?
Jesse! I don't understand.
I
I don't know.
This is a mistake. He must not have Mog Fanatic or Sling Gang left in his deck. It's the
Yeah.
only explanation. Because otherwise you would go to your upkeep, you would make infinite snoops, and then before you draw Kiki Jiki, you would shuffle you would crack the fetch, the shuffle the library, to hopefully then spike something on top.
So it seems to me that Brian's digging for some other
He's
specific
digging for
goblin.
something.
Because he's looked at 2 different tops of his deck now and fetched them away.
Well, he didn't want the Kiki Jiki for whatever reason.
Yeah, which
And
is
he
wild
didn't
to
want
us.
the second Snoop, which is very understandable. Second Snoop does nothing here.
So he's looking for some other goblin.
So he's looking for some card off the top of his deck. But with the Vial at 3, he didn't need to log. So like, oh no, Brian, no. Oh, this game would be over.
All right. It's gonna activate Tyvar here. Mog Fanatic cost how much?
It doesn't matter. It Bog Fanatic costs 1. He can bring it back, but Bog Fanatic is sacrifice itself. You needed it on top of your library with infinite snoops so that they each had an instance of sacrifice or us deal damage. That was the winning line. I'm so sorry, Brian. Oh, what's this?
He's played a Rabble Master and has a couple of goblins now. And that'll be Brian's turn.
That's not gonna be enough. Oh no, Brian.
And assumedly Brian assumedly has no interaction here with Nathan. And Nathan's going to
Caster Forge the Soul. He's got no mana. His Vial is tapped. I don't even think he bothered to untap his Vial. Put it to 3. Well, maybe he did. It doesn't matter. Okay, that had to have been it. The Vial had to have been, that had to have been his upkeep. He did not end of turn Vial.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's on us.
What?
We are the failures here.
What did we miss?
It didn't have haste.
Oh.
But where did the Tyvar come from? He drew the Tyvar. No, he had the Tyvar in hand. Never mind. No, I take it all back. I take it all back.
Oh, because it has
he spends his mana and he casts Tyvar.
Haste.
Yeah, okay. Ah. This is heartbreaking. You know what? I'd rather be wrong. Brian knows what he's doing. We're wrong. We're wrong.
I don't know enough to correct either.
We'll not talk about it again. We're wrong. He knows what he's doing.
I think so. That's what I always assume.
We're the outsiders. We messed up here. All right. He's got the 3 mana. He's got the 4 mana, and now he's going for the 7. Yep. Oh, he's going for the Pyromancer. All right. So this is going to be very time-consuming, but it is another infinite loop. Just stunting on poor Brian here.
Oh, they only play 1 Belcher in the deck? So then he can't do the traditional combo.
Do they only play 1 Belcher?
I don't know.
I would think you'd play more because you just want 1 in your opening hand. Redundant copies are worth it.
Yeah, that seems... Well, I don't know. What do you guys think, chat? Opinions?
Yeah, my phone died, so I don't know. Chat's probably yelling at us the whole time.
I have not checked. I could have given you a charger. I'm sorry.
It's all right. There's one right here, in fact. I just elected to ignore.
Sometimes we're too connected, you know? We gotta, take a step back.
I gotta unplug and focus only on this computer.
Exactly. It's number of screens, right? In moderation.
So, Brian now appears to be playing to the play mistake.
Because he has represented a full viable combo here, correct?
I said before, I don't know what the so the recovery of Balaged brings back 2 cards, which is mana positive.
Okay.
So he casts them, and they'll bring back the ballad. And because the Pyromancer does some copying, he ends up making mana every time he does this loop, and he draws a card.
And then essentially you just take the count. What you take the counters off Pyromancer, right? To just shoot
No,
them.
no. Once Pyromancer's Ascension has so many counters, every time you cast an instant or sorcery, you just double it.
Oh, I see. So then it's even more.
Right. So
Mana
this is a
positive.
mana positive, and he's drawing cards.
Mhm.
He has a goal in mind. He's drawing to something. Anything. You got a Grape Shot. You got a care another Belcher. Even like he's drawing to something, and then he can if he's got a recovery, he could be drawing to just bring his Belcher back on top. Yeah. He's going through the combo the long way, but with Belcher in the yard and his opponent playing face up, letting him know that there is no answer, he can just make enough mana and bring back Belcher and win this. So at least that's my understanding of what's happening here. Maybe he's drawing to a counter spell just in case, but yeah, Brian's face up. You don't.
Yeah. He's here for the content. He's letting Nathan play out his deck, letting him know that he's got to tell him when he's dead. He's not gonna do it for him.
Maybe he'll get lucky and misclick.
Oh.
Belch myself. Now we're going splice crazy. One advantage of Desperate Ritual over Pyretic Ritual is the ancient text of Splice onto Arcane.
Yes. So, I like
a classic.
Heard of that. Explain to me how that works.
So, because on Kamigawa the spirits are so translucent and ethereal, they can change their form rapidly. And to represent this, we have arcane spells, instants and sorceries infused with the power of the Kami gods themselves. And as such, they can just infuse their power by splicing, taking a card from your hand and adding it to the current spell you're casting. In the case of Desperate Ritual, you can't.
You get two for the price of one.
You get one spell that has the power of 2.
I see.
So when you cast an arcane spell, you then have a window to splice onto arcane. Desperate Ritual says that anytime you cast another arcane spell, you can splice on the arcane by paying 1 in a red and add its text to the first text. So you can pay 4 to make 6 instead of paying 2 to make 3.
Okay.
Because you can effectively, if you have 2 copies in hand, you cast 1, splice on the second, which makes 6 mana, and then you can make a 7th mana by still having the second copy in your hand.
Oh goodness, that's so much math.
It is, but you don't worry about it because splice is unplayable, and no. This is the only time you will see.
It doesn't look unplayable to me. Nathan's got a lot of dice on the table right now.
He's
done a lot with it.
But you will notice 5 of them are black. So if anything, he actually owes Brian apparently 24 mana. Right? Blacks are minus, and the white dice are positive effects?
So the white dice, we tell them to use for +1/+1s. Everything else is the black dice.
Right. So he is...
I see
24, 20. He's 27 mana in the hole. That is, we're gonna have to call a judge on that one. You can't have negative mana in this game. That's not. That's a debt he can't repay.
Is Brian explaining his combo to him?
Sometimes you just want your opponent to win the game, but actually know the motions.
I see. Okay. It does.
All right. It's very possible Nathan has not played this deck before because it is a relatively simple force check deck. So he knows that this combo's in there, but he might not know but the actual mechanics. So like at this point he's expecting his opponent to scoop before he has to figure out what he needs to the final step.
And this is why you make him play it out.
But he has a Belcher in the yard.
All right. Nathan, as we deduced a little while ago, is the winner of this round. taking down Brian in 2. Folks, it's been a pleasure doing commentary. Four Dogs, thank you so much for joining me.
It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was lovely. Bryce, thank you for producing as always. You were fantastic. And to all our players that showed up, all of our viewers that came out and joined the stream, thank you. Be sure to click that follow button, follow us, and we'll do a couple of ads before we head out. If you want to hang out, please do. If you don't, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. If you're looking to play some competitive Magic, join us for the NRG series June 24th and 25th. We're giving away more than $15,000 in prize money, and you can take home your share of that, whether it's in our main events or our side events. If you win our 10K Modern Showdown, you will immediately qualify for our Championship Invitational, a 16-player event in January with a $20,000 prize pool, as well as qualify for RC Atlanta. And you get a custom token. I always like to throw that. I think that's so cool. On Sunday, we got that 5K Legacy Trial for you. Let's look at the next event. After that, in July, we are heading over to St. Louis. This is July 8th and 9th, and we'll have a team showdown. That means we have 3 championship seats up for grabs on Saturday. Every single person on your team will qualify for champs. That is, of course, Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy. One of each of those players will be joining us at the championship. And then we have another Legacy trial for all of our Legacy lovers on Sunday. After that, let's take a look at our weekly schedule. We have tons of Magic for you to play. Tonight was Wednesday, which is Modern. Tomorrow we have Commander and Pokémon. Pokemon we got a League Cup for at the end of the month. Come and qualify for Worlds there. On Friday, we have Legacy and One Piece. Starting next Friday, we will also be restarting F&M drafts. Come check us out for our Lord of the Rings Middle-earth pre-release and open the One Ring. It would be great press for us.
I will throw it into a volcano.
It'll be a long journey for you. There's not a close one nearby. Anyway, on Saturday, we have Digimon. Come and check out our case tournament for EX04. That'll be fantastic. That's later this month. On Monday, we have Commander and Digimon again. And on Tuesday, we have Pioneer and One Piece. One Piece has its next pre-release coming out this month as well. We have so many products to sell. So much product for you to enjoy. Come and check out any one of our events and their relevant games. And if you're looking to pick up some singles, you want to try playing that crazy Belcher deck, that cool Tyvar deck, any of the decks that you saw tonight, and you need singles, come and check out nerdragegaming.com for all of your single needs. We also sell sealed product on there as well. If you spend money, you save money. We got a great loyalty program. We also have a wishlist feature. If we have a card that you are looking for and we don't have it, add to your wish list and get notified immediately when we list it, because we're listing new cards every day. You can also check out nrg.tcgplayerpro.com for our Magic foils, as well as our full alt game inventory. And if you have any questions about the store, come check out our Discord. We got Discord for both the store and the series. You can get all your questions answered there. Check out the QR link down below. But that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been Haviva and Four Dogs and Bryce behind the scenes. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.